What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out, man. Y'all see the thumbnail. Ryan Garcia. Or let me rephrase that. Cryan Garcia and Lillian Whyte. Stop bitching and fight. You know what I mean? That's what we talking about. Hey guys, so it's just some boxing talk with D Jeff. Intangible boxing in the building. Boxing monster in the building. What's good? All right, guys, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. It is no limit. Anybody who want to click the link, come talk. We're going to have a full panel. Everybody can come up here, click that link. We're going to talk about Lillian Whyte and old Cryan Garcia. That's what I'm calling these two now. Lillian Whyte and Cryan Garcia. So, see who we got up in here, man. What's up? Intangible boxing monster, Chin Smoke. Third has it. What's up? BJ Freeman in the building. What's good with you? My man, Black and Brown boxing in the building. What's good, Black and Brown? Get this smoke. What's up? Get this smoke. Soccer Training Club. What's good with your fam? Appreciate all y'all coming through. Lewis Sports Network, my brother, in this basketball thing. What's up, Lewis? Jay Cooley in the building. What's going on, Jay Cooley? So, yeah, guys. So, I don't even know really which one of these guys to start with. But I will start with Lillian Whyte for the simple fact that, listen, man, this got a lot to do with my guy, Fury. And although I can sympathize with Dillian Whyte's plight on a certain level, like anybody who's following boxing, we got to understand that the dude is getting screwed over. So I'm not going to say that Dillian Whyte's not getting screwed over. He is. He's getting royally screwed. But at the same time, I think that everybody that's so gung-ho about Fury ducking him and Dillian Whyte getting screwed over, they're missing the fact that Dillian Whyte did a lot of stuff to land himself in this position. See, here's the thing. He passed up opportunities to get the fight. We're not going to talk about if everything was fair, if this was right, if that. Life ain't fair. Dillian Whyte passed up millions of dollars of an offer because it was lowball, but it was situational. He could have took that fight. He could have fought Joshua. With the Wilder situation, and I keep saying this, we just talked about this earlier on the show. I don't care if you don't feel like you should have to jump through hoops. If you wanted that WBC belt so bad, he should have fought that eliminator match with Luis Ortiz. And then, and there's no guarantee either that this dude could have even beat Deontay Wilder. I don't like how people act like it's a foregone conclusion that if Dillian Whyte would have gotten the fight, he automatically would have beat Deontay Wilder. Like, that's not even a given. They acting like he got robbed. The only thing he really got robbed out of was a chance. He had a chance to beat him. He could have gotten his ass slammed out. He could have gotten knocked slam out. Cat Core, what's up with you, sis? Appreciate you coming through. But when it comes to Fury, when it comes to Tyson Fury, like, bro, I hear a lot of people saying that it's not a duck. Well, this is how I look at it. And, Tyson Fury is my guy and everything. But if Wilder's injured, he has to wait on the Anthony Joshua fight. There's absolutely no reason as the champion he shouldn't fight Dillian Whyte. No reason at all. I don't even think that Mauricio Sulaiman and Bob Arum and Tyson Fury, I don't even really think they should be going through all of this nonsense. To tell you the truth, man, Tyson Fury should just fight Dillian Whyte. I mean, let's be honest, bro. It's not like Tyson Fury is not like Manny Pacquiao or something like. He ain't been through no whole bunch of wars, and Tyson Fury only fight wars with like major guys, and then he fight light touches, then he'll fight. So my thing is like he don't have a lot of wear and tear on him. I don't think Dillian Whyte can beat Tyson Fury. I know a lot of people, some people feel that way, but I honestly don't think Dillian Whyte can beat him. So I feel like Tyson Fury should just go beat him up, bro, and get it over with. That way it won't even be all of this nonsense with Bob Arum and Mauricio Suleiman and all of that jazz. Just go fight him. That's it. And that's why I'm not giving Tyson Fury a pass on this. Like everybody know I advocate for Tyson Fury, but he gets no pass from me on this. He needs to fight Dillian Whyte. That's how I look at it. But on the flip side of that, we know that politics always gets in the way of these fights. Now, we're talking about a Dillian Whyte versus a Tyson Fury fight here. And politics is in the way of that. Man, this is where I tell Dillian Whyte just stop bitching and go fight somebody. Because here's the thing. Politics is wrecking a lot of fights. And if you look at the Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury fight, that's one of the least fights that politics is wrecking. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot more fights out here that we really want to see, much more than Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, and politics are wrecking those fights as well. Dillian Whyte, you are not the only one in boxing who is getting the short end of the stick. And that's why I'm like, with this whole Dillian Whyte situation, Lillian Whyte, shut up and fight, bro. That's how I feel about it, bro. Just shut up. Because, you know, it's people in boxing that's getting the short end of the stick that didn't put themselves in a bad situation. Dillian Whyte put himself in a bad situation. Brian Harkin, what's good with you? We talking about Lillian Whyte and Cryan Garcia tonight. That's what we're going to be talking about, Brian. Boxing Boss, that's Soccer Trading Club. Salute everyone. That's what's up. That's what's up. Black and brown. BOP says the rest table box. Hey, BOP, put the link to your channel in the chat, bro. And everybody, y'all go check out BOP. He just started up a new channel. That this guy knows boxing. I was talking with him today on Mark's channel, and he knows his boxing. So, you know, everybody, you know, go check him out. And if you guys like what you hear, go ahead and subscribe to him. He has BOP has his own niche. He's a funny guy. I like the way he brings forth the material. And he talks about a division, a particular division that nobody really talks about. And he focuses on that division, and that's the cruiserweight division. But he does a lot more than just the cruiserweight division. I just want you guys to know that if you want to know something about what's going on in the cruiserweight division, because it's not publicized, go to BOP Boxing, and you'll find out some information on the cruiserweight division and a lot more. So y'all go check this man out, because I went and checked him out today, and I told him if I like his channel, then, you know, I'm going to send people his way too. And I like his channel. And he knows boxing. So y'all go check him out, man. BOP Boxing. Go ahead and put your link in the chat, fam, so people could get over there and check you out, dog. Yeah, no doubt. Alistair 49 in the building. What's good with you, fam? BOP says Ryan Garcia wants a one-on-one match with the Golden Boy. Yeah. Tell Oscar to throw on his fishnets, BOP. Whyte should be chasing. I think he meant to say chasing the Ruiz fight. I think so. I think that would be a good fight. I just think that Whyte, with Dillian Whyte, like I said, he has valid points, but he's done a lot to get himself, to put himself in that position as well. You know, here's the thing, guys, in boxing, period. If you got a belt, you have leverage and you have power, period. It's just that simple. If you have a belt, you have leverage and you have power. Dillian Whyte had multiple opportunities to capture a belt. And had he taken those opportunities and not chased the money, because both times he turned down this opportunity, he went for more money. So there's always this fine line. And a lot of boxing fans, what I can't understand with this Dillian Whyte situation is the simple fact that a lot of boxing fans will hold this same principle over the PBC. The entire PBC, these PBC guys. Are you going to chase money or are you going to chase legacy? But then when we get in a situation like Dillian Whyte, it's like the narrative changed. How come ain't nobody saying, Dillian Whyte, are you going to chase money or are you going to chase legacy? Because he's burned himself and he's in this position, and people have to understand, because he chose to chase money a few times in his career. Had he not chosen to chase money a few times in his career, he'd have had those title shots that he's fussing about right now. And that's just the brass tacks on Dillian Whyte. Intangible Black and Brown Boxing. What's up, fellas?
Yeah, what's man. Up, fellas? I just wanted to say, bro, Dillian Whyte still ducking that Lucas Brown rematch, man.
Oh my God,
he's still ducking that rematch. He spiked his drink. Okay, I want to say this, and I guess we probably have a conflicting belief system. I 100% support Dillian Whyte in his legal case, and here is why. Because over and look, I do acknowledge that he did turn down an AJ fight, but this has to do with the WBC, what I'm talking about. I'm not saying he didn't make his mistakes, but in terms of what the WBC, this dude has been constantly over and over and over and over and over again been forced to go through much tougher challenges and much tougher routes than anybody else in that entire sanctioning body to get their title shots. For example, he beat Robert Helenius to get the silver belt, right? Mm-hmm. That made him the number one contender. All of a sudden, Dominic Breazeale fights an eliminator with Eric Molina after turning down a fight with Dillian Whyte to fight Molina, and Molina was ranked like 20th in the entire sanctioning body's rankings. Okay. Bermain Stavern beats Derek Rossi and is all of a sudden WBC mandatory for Deontay Wilder. Okay. Deontay Wilder doesn't show much interest in fighting Whyte. Tyson Fury is mandated by the WBC to fight Deontay Wilder after fighting nobody in no eliminator whatsoever to warrant that rematch. Yes, it was a contractual obligation already, but the WBC still put him in that mandated spot and mandated the fight when Fury did nothing to get it. And Dillian Whyte was suspended for further notice in that mandatory position, but then got it back and didn't have that mandated fight again. I mean, it's constant what this dude has to go through and the hoops he has to jump through in order to get that fight. Like, I can't defend the WBC. There's no defense for what they've done.
No, it's not. I agree with that too. Like, it's no defense at all for Suleiman and his foolishness. Like, you know, I don't want people to get it twisted as far as that's why I started this off before you guys jump off with. We can sympathize with Dillian Whyte because the WBC has definitely shitted on this man. And there's no questions about that. And we were talking about the lawsuit on Rivals Channel, and he has validity. I agree with that too. He has validity in his lawsuit with the WBC. That don't have nothing to do with Tyson Fury or Top Rank. He can't sue Top Rank. He can't sue Tyson Fury, but he can sue the WBC, and he has valid points. Where I'm disconnecting this situation is that with the WBC, I'm with Whyte. With Whyte's career, I'm not with him because he's done things to wreck his own career. You see what I'm saying? And that is my thing with Lillian Whyte. He's done things to wreck his career. He could have taken other steps. Again, I can appreciate and sympathize with his issues concerning the WBC. But as boxing fans, and I've heard plenty of people say it, when we talk about PBC organization and the fighters, are you going to chase legacy or are you going to chase money? So we need to hold Dillian Whyte accountable for this same principle, because plenty of times in his career, he had opportunities, but he decided to chase money.
All right.
If I could jump in,
Yeah,
if I could jump in,
go ahead, Smoke. Let's Smoke get in and let
just with a little bit of perspective on even the WBC, right? Because the reason how Brazil got that fight with Stavern was because Dillian Whyte turned that down, right? Then the reason why he didn't get the second eliminator because he turned that down. The reason why he didn't get the mandatory because he turned that down. That was with the WBC. So as much as the WBC shit on Dillian Whyte shit, pissed, did whatever the hell he wanted to when it came to what the WBC asked of him to get his shot. So I'm not all of a sudden understanding why all of a sudden now the WBC owes Dillian Whyte a favor when he has done them zero favors at a time when they had an actual real issue with a bunch of title challengers failing drug tests. And Dillian Whyte didn't jump in and do his part. Dillian Whyte didn't jump in and do his part to clear up the mandatory situation. No, he let other people fight and then bitch about it afterwards.
Was Dillian Whyte offered the Stavern fight by the WBC?
Not by the WBC, by Stavern. The WBC offered it to Luis Ortiz, and they also offered it to Dillian Whyte. Both of them turned it down, and then they went down the road till they got to Brazil. And then, anyway, that's that part. That's just Dillian Whyte. I'm not even going to go to the rest.
This was after the Povetkin situation and Stavern, right?
Yeah, it is after
Okay. Just making sure.
Yes, I'm just saying that Dillian Whyte has a history of not stepping up to the plate when the WBC asked of him to do certain things to become mandatories to get his shot, and like D just said, he chose money. He built this maze that he can't get through, and now he's expecting us to weep for him when he's he's a millionaire doing pay-per-views, and he's doing it on purpose too. Like, man, miss me. Miss me with the WBC, miss me with the IBF, miss me with all of it.
Intangible just put up an article here. Go ahead, Intangible.
Why did Dominic Brazil choose to fight the number 22 ranked Eric Molina over Dillian Whyte for that final eliminator?
Okay. You want me to give a reason?
Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a reason. Because it didn't matter who he fought, he had a guarantee for a mandatory on that date. Because the WBC made a signed agreement between him and Bermain Stavern, which was a two-way on the date specifically. So it didn't matter who he fought. He could have fought absolutely anybody for that because he had a guarantee.
Yep. And there was no obligation for him to fight Dillian Whyte still. And of course, as the article showed, he decided to fight Eric Molina over him, and he had no strain in that.
Okay. So why did Dillian Whyte fight Oscar Rivas instead of Luis Ortiz?
He offered Luis Ortiz the fight. He offered him £2 million, and he said he turned it down.
Yep. So that Luis Ortiz could get $5 million in a world title shot.
Since he said it, that's what happened. Oh, I got it. Luis Ortiz said he was going to drop everything and come fight him and go to the OT. What he did was rematch Derek Chisora, and everybody said it was a more money fight, and that's what he said also.
Okay.
But see, that's the thing that I'm talking about there. Little situations like this where Dillian Whyte goes here, because how many times have we heard Dillian Whyte sit up there on multiple interviews and cry about, no, I'm worth more than this. I'm worth more than this. They're not going to do this to me. He's done this over and over and over again, and these are important fight that he could take to move his career forward. But again, if we're going to keep this principle with the PBC fighters of chasing money instead of legacy, then we have to hold Dillian Whyte accountable. And people are not doing that. That's my only problem with Dillian Whyte. No one's holding him accountable for the fact that plenty of times in his career, he chased money instead of legacy. But when we hear that about PBC guys, and y'all know damn well I don't defend the PBC. My thing is the same energy needs to be kept. This is why I don't like so much. People are tuning this because of Fury. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with Fury. He needs to be held accountable the same way other fighters are held accountable. And the man chased money, clearly. He chased money.
I agree with that. As you know, my only problem with the whole situation is the instating of Fury as a mandatory to facilitate the two-way rematch clause between Wilder and Fury. That's my only issue.
And that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit.
That's literally my only issue with that.
But, I mean, when it comes to WBC, there's any number of things, right? Like the franchise belt is just the latest example of a bunch of fucking nonsense that you can put at the WBC feet, right? It just, but without going into the many ways that the WBC is horrible and crooked, Dillian Whyte, just to me does not strike me as that as an example. It seems like he's exploiting the bad PR and the bad actual reality of the WBC. Meanwhile, he's enriched himself incredibly. Like, I don't know of a guy who's never fought for a title that's making this much dough. I can't remember a guy.
Yeah, that's a fact. Sporting Advantage. I don't know if I shouted you out, fam, but thank you for coming through. That guy in the building. What's up, that guy? Appreciate you coming in, my man. And Carlos in the building and Carlos Mendoza. Yes, those are two different people, guys. What's up, Carlos and Carlos Mendoza? Black and Brown Boxing. We ain't heard from you, bro. What you got? Weigh in on this for me.
Man, I'm just chilling. I don't have a huge take on this topic. I like Dillian Whyte. I got respect for Dillian Whyte. He's getting screwed over, but like when you look at the picture, like he has to kind of move out the way for Undisputed. That's just how I feel. But it sucks for him.
Me too.
It is what it is. It is what it is. He also lost to Joshua, so you gotta take that in consideration too. Like, kind of drop the ball, and he got to keep fighting, and he'll get another chance. It's not like it's over for him,
He just has.
But he does. I'm gonna tell you this though, guys. He does have a legitimate case when it comes to a lawsuit because the WBC changes the rules and makes up the rules as they go. So I don't know in court how it's gonna work out, but it seems to me like he has a legitimate case.
I mean, the fact that they moved the goalposts and changed the rules so much, they're probably going to use some of the rules they changed to justify their actions.
For sure.
And there won't be much of a defense for it.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, they could be like, this is how we do things. We make the rules up as we go, and that's just what it is. So, yeah,
well,
you're right.
They literally do. They literally do, by the way. Yeah. Everything is at our sole discretion at the end of everything. Like, if you go through the rules, it's literally at our sole discretion. Everything.
Which means that's saying that I can basically do what the hell I want because I can establish a rule. But if I say at my discretion, that means that the rule can be broken if I determine that
there's a valid reason.
Right, which is bullshit. It's
the good of boxing, baby. It's for the good of boxing.
Yeah, right. Lisa Bell's in the building. What's good with you, Queen Lisa? Yeah, right. Good of boxing. It ain't doing us no damn good, smoke.
Hey, man, the green belt is the only belt that matters in boxing, y'all.
Listen, like as you point out, Dillian Whyte. Sure, I'd like to see him. He's definitely top 5, top 6 guy. Getting him fighting anyone, I'd watch the fight and I'd be excited to see the fight, right? But as you point out, there are other fights that just I'd rather see more, right? They're guys who have just put in more work and. And frankly, they mean more to the division and to the history of the division and of the entire sport too. So,
Hey, can I say this, guys? And I don't know if you guys can agree, but with the franchise belt, to me, it seems like in this scenario, with the scenario they have going on now, it kind of makes sense for this situation because Dillian Whyte deserves to be champion, but at the same time, Fury deserves to be able to chase Undisputed. And it seems like everybody almost wins, but I don't know. You got
because
Dillian Whyte deserves to fight for the championship. He doesn't deserve to be the champion.
He deserves to fight for the championship. Yeah, absolutely. But here's the other thing: the franchise situation. That doesn't free you up for an undisputed title fight. If Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury, he is not the undisputed champion because he just gets a WBC diamond belt if they decide to give him one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an undisputed.
Okay, and hey guys, let me ask you this, guys, because we haven't seen that yet. Like we have the Loma situation and the Loma and Teofimo situation coming. AJ and Fury, that situation.
Yeah, but we've seen the rules. We've seen the rules. We've seen the rules of the WBC franchise stipulations. It's not a world championship. You cannot win that title if you beat the guy who's holding that title in their own rules and under their own official statement on it. You just pick up that belt. You don't pick up the franchise belt. You pick up a diamond championship, or you can be made a mandatory for the title to the champion.
Let me ask you this: do you think they're going to promote it in that way? Do you think they will promote it as undisputed? Both fights, the Loma and Teofimo fight as well. Will that fight be promoted as undisputed?
The promoters will probably try to.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, D? Appreciate for having me on, bro.
You hear what we're talking about? This whole Dillian Whyte situation. Weigh in on that, bro. What do you think about Dillian Whyte and his what's going on with him? His suit against the WBC and everything.
I think Dillian Whyte should sit his fat ass down, bro. I think I'm tired of this dude always crying in the camera, always talking to Coogan and you know the people over there in Britain, Sky Sports, and moaning, crying, bro. But this dude had an opportunity to fight AJ in one of the biggest fights, a rivalry with AJ, brother, rematch, and he didn't take the fight, man. So I don't take Dillian Whyte serious. I think he's a bum, like literally, bro. I think he's a glorified heavyweight, man. As soon as he faces somebody in the top 5, he's getting sparked out, even by an old man like Luis Ortiz or a fat ass Andy Ruiz drops them, bro. So that's my opinion.
Let me just say this though: the lawsuit is concerning the WBC. When it comes to he and AJ, that is concerning the WBA, IBF, and WBO belts. That's an unrelated topic. While I do agree that yes, he turned that down and that cost him a huge opportunity that wouldn't have to cause all of this, the WBC is providing the barriers.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, all the mandatories and all that, it's all business. So it don't really matter if he's a mandatory, bro. The thing that matters is who has the control. And right now, Tyson Fury has the control. He has the money. He has Bob Arum. He has ESPN backing him. So I don't think the WBC is gonna be scared of Dillian Whyte. Does he deserve the shot? Probably, yeah. But do I care? Would I vouch for him? Would I petition for him? Probably not. Because I don't respect Dillian Whyte as a fighter, man.
I respect Dillian Whyte, and I think that he can fight. I don't agree that he's a bum. I think I actually have him as either number 3 or 4. You can take your pick between him and Wilder, but respect level as far as I don't have much respect because he's ruined chances, and I'll give him the same heat basically that I give Jamal Charlo. You know what I mean? If you ruining your chances, then that's your fault. And then when you come back 2 or 3 years later and you done screwed over 2 or 3 chances in the past, don't come singing this South song to me. I'm not you could go to somebody else with it. But look, guys, I'm gonna let Eric come up here and weigh in on this. I'm gonna back out real quick. I want to hear what Eric got to say about this.
What's going on, Eric?
Yeah, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah. I agree with what D said, but in all fairness, when it comes to the WBC, Dillian Whyte has been hard done by. In boxing terms, yeah, he should have fought AJ when he had the chance, but when it comes to the WBC, that situation's fucked up.
Yep.
That's why I said I think he has a case. I think he has a case.
Yeah, he definitely has a case because one, they stripped him of his mandatory position when the testing with UCAD wasn't even conclusive. They wasn't even sure what was going on, and WBC stripped him of his mandatory status then. So I don't understand. And then when he was cleared, then they reinstated him after Fury. They made Fury mandatory and then reinstated him.
Exactly, that's what I said.
So what sense does that make? He should have been automatically reinstated back to number 1, and he should have been fighting Wilder anyway. He's been messing around for years. I'm not a massive Dillian Whyte fan, by the way. At the end of the day, I don't think he'll win a world title. I really don't. I think he can challenge for one, but I don't think he'll win one, but he still deserves that shot.
Yeah. And I don't think you can have a defense for Tyson Fury in this situation.
Nope.
And Tyson Fury is also a dude. I mean, even aside from the Dillian Whyte thing, he has stated straight up that belts just don't matter to him. He's about the money and just getting the AJ fight and just the big fights. If he messed up this undisputed, there is no defense for it. If you're about undisputed, you cannot defend Tyson Fury. You can't if he allows that belt to go vacant.
I don't think he would go. I don't think he would allow it to go vacant. I think he would accept the franchise. That's what I think.
Yeah. He would.
Yeah, I don't.
And really quick, guys, can I just say this? I've heard
I don't put it past.
thinking he deserves a title. I'm sorry, guys. Thinking he deserves a title shot and not respecting him. I don't know. It's kind of two different things because Dillian Whyte has been through some wars. Like in the ring, I respect what Dillian Whyte has done. You know, I've seen his heart. So
Yeah,
I know you guys
Brown,
know things. You guys know things about business aspects and fights he's turned down, and I respect that. Like I get that too. But to say you have no respect for Dillian Whyte, like come on, bro. Like
yeah, but Black
went through
Brown,
some wars, bro.
On that, ain't nobody on here said that, but that damn Hefe. nobody disrespecting White. Like even Smoke said, he'd like to see him in a fight. I would like to see him in a fight. We're not disrespecting his skill. That's just El Jefe that called him a bum, dog. We're not on that. It's just with White. Look, it's a bittersweet thing with White, okay? Let me give some shout-outs right quick. Johnny Boy done stepped up in the building. What's up, Johnny Boy? And my man Iron Cone. What's up, Iron Cone in the building? And Justin Trouble. What's up, Justin Trouble? Here's the thing. Dillian Whyte clearly screwed himself. That's my only thing. Like, the things that happen with the WBC, no one can argue that. The WBC is trash. Suleiman is as crooked as Bob Arum. So that's who Tyson Fury got behind him. Two crooked motherfuckers. So, I mean, what are you going to do about that? That's the truth. That's nothing to argue about. But my thing with Dillian Whyte and where I share El Jefe's sentiment is that I'm just tired of hearing him, bro. I don't want to hear him no more. Like, I don't want to hear you, bro, because you're a low profile fight. Forget about what you think concerning yourself. When it comes to Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder, you're on the low end of the totem pole, period, bro. That's just the facts. That's the brass tacks of it. He's not important right now. The bigger money fights, the fights that can make these sanctioning bodies big money, the fights that can make these promoters big money, that's what they're trying to push. They're not worried about no damn Dillian Whyte at all.
But that's what happens.
We're the only ones worried
like
about Dillian Whyte.
Man, the UK, bro, and shout out to the UK because they show support to their fighters and everything, bro. But they've been blowing so much hot air up Dillian White's ass, bro, that they got him thinking he's like this.
Hot hair up Dillian.
No, bro, you've been blowing a lot of smoke up Andy Reid.
He deserves the title
Hold
shot.
on, bro.
Hold on,
See,
one
that's
at a time, guys. One at a time. Go
yeah,
ahead.
man. Let me say my point, bro. I ain't trying to debate nobody, bro. All I'm trying to say, bro,
You can't debate
Dillian
shit.
Whyte. Hold on, bro. Dillian Whyte. I lost my point, bro. Go ahead, man.
All right. Ain't nobody blowing no smoke up Dillian Whyte's ass.
You,
The
El
guy
Jefe,
deserves a
hold on.
title shot from the WBC. It's as simple as that.
He does.
He
El Jefe,
deserved
you
one.
were saying that people are blowing smoke up Dillian Whyte's ass from the UK and stuff, and that's where you were.
Yeah. Well,
we got
here's
the
the
police,
thing.
man.
Dillian
Somebody
Whyte-
got the police in the back.
Oh, Hefe, Dillian Whyte is blowing smoke up his own ass. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
I'm getting
blowing
arrested.
That motherfucker sitting on a chimney stack. He blowing it up his own ass. Smoke in the background. Hold on, Smoke. I got you. But Ronnie Sutton in the building. What's good with you, Ronnie Sutton? Soccer Training Club stepped up in the building. Look, hey man, enough about Lillian Whyte. I want to talk about this goddamn Cryan. I got a new name for him too. Shout out to Monkey Kung Fu. I told Monkey Kung Fu I'm gonna use this from now on. Cryan Garcia. That's his name. Fucking Cryan Garcia. Listen, now I have no sympathy for him. Zero. And the thing with Ryan Garcia is I actually like Ryan. I think that he, being with Reynoso, he's going to be, a good talent. I think he'll develop very, very well under Reynoso and Canelo, being around those guys. But Ryan Garcia, just months ago, Ryan Garcia, you bitched and moaned and cried about your contract. They were trying to get over on you. This, that, and the third. They gave you what you wanted, Ryan Garcia. They gave you what you wanted. Okay? This is what you got. Now, the execs from the zone came out and they said specifically, we have told Ryan Garcia that we're going to pay him more than his contract minimum, which means if you sign for this contract and they're going to give you more than the minimum, even if it is the minimum, and it's not as much money as you want, you're contracted under that, Ryan Garcia, you idiot. So shut the hell up, fight somebody, whoever they put in front of you, and stop bitching. You already bitched about getting your contract. They gave it to you. Because you didn't look at the details and you're not happy with what you signed on? Man, get out of here with that, bro. Ryan Garcia needs to shut up and fight. Here's another one. Shut up and fight, Cryan Garcia. So I'll start off with El Jefe. What do you think about Cryan Garcia?
Man, I think Ryan Garcia is the biggest diva, bro. I think the Instagram has gotten to his head, man. The whole Twitter situation, bro. He's officially the Twitter champ, bro. So that's what I would say about Ryan Garcia. He had the opportunity, man, to at least, he wasn't gonna fight no Linares. He wasn't gonna fight no big name dude. He was about to bum bash, bro, for $200K, bro. Like give me that opportunity, bro, and I'll fight anybody for that money, bro.
Tell me about it, bro.
He got to understand we're in a pandemic, bro. People are struggling out here, man. So even if they cut you the funds, man, understand the situation and take it from there. And you know what Golden Boy did, bro? They went up to the next man up, bro. A man that really needs some money, a man that's willing to fight, even though it's not as much as Ryan Garcia makes, but he stepped up. Virgil Ortiz, he's taking the show, bro, and he gets the opportunity to display his talents on the 4th of July, man. So that's what I gotta say.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I think that, to tell you the truth, I think Golden Boy should focus on him more at this point anyway. That's just my opinion. Black and Brown, what you think about old Cryan Garcia?
Yo, man? D, before Black and Brown goes, drop me backstage and let Smoke on.
All right. I got you, Eric.
All right.
Go ahead, Black.
So look, I'm a Ryan Garcia fan, huge Ryan Garcia fan. I love all these youngsters, right? But this bullshit, you can't support this. You can't turn down $200,000 in a pandemic, like Jefe just said, on 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? At some point, that shit is promotional to you, and you have to realize that, like, it's not about the money that you're gonna get there in that fight. You're about to blow the fuck up. You're about to fight on 4th of July. What's bigger than that? And like Jefe said, you're gonna fight a bum. It's gonna be your second fight of the year. You're gonna fight a bum. You'll fight again in September or December. You'll make another 500, 200,000. What's the problem?
Right.
Yeah. I'm 21 years old. He's 21 years old. He don't got no belt yet. What I don't get why he thinks he needs more than 200,000, 500,000. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan. And I'm a huge fan.
I get it. I get it.
Go ahead, Smoke. Break it down. Go ahead, Smoke.
Yeah, he's part of a class. He's part of all the young bucks, right? Look at look at who's in his class. Devin Haney, Shakur, David Benavidez, Teofimo. All these guys that he's grew up with in the amateurs, they've been talking shit for each other since they're kids. These dudes are getting it. He doesn't have a belt. Where's Ryan Garcia? I think it's a little bit of keeping up with the Joneses. He's like, hey, I'm still getting paid, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I butt back in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
But also, piggybacking on what Jefe said, this is making Virgil Ortiz look so good. He's going to take the less money. He's going to take the date, and he's going to shine. And he's just going to look so good at the end. And it's going to, like you said, D, they're going to start focusing more on him because of shit like this.
Yeah.
I totally agree with what El Jefe said and what you guys are saying. I'm just saying I think that's what's getting at Ryan right now is that I think he's also keeping score with the guys that he came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me say this right quick, because I heard you mention my boy Teofimo, right? You just take him right on out of the picture.
I think that's what's getting it.
And the reason I say take Teofimo right on out of the picture, because Ryan Garcia has not done half of what Teofimo is doing. So you ain't getting that money. Matter of fact, Teofimo is a champion, and he's been ready to fight Lomachenko, and he's been doing more than Ryan Garcia. So you can take Teofimo right out of the picture with Ryan Garcia, because that bastard got to do a whole lot more if he want to get that Teofimo money.
Hey man,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is that he's looking around and he's seeing all these guys that didn't have shit when he didn't have shit, but these guys now have something.
Yeah, bro. Like Ryan Garcia, man, I'm sick of these Instagram prospects like him. And honestly, it's gotten to the point with Ryan Garcia to where if Tank Davis were to fight him, I would join Team Tank, bro. I would be Team Tank all the way, all day, every day. After that, I'd go back to hating Tank. But if he were to fight Tank, I'd be Team Tank all day, and I'd be his legal advisor during the domestic violence situation, man. Like, bro, you got to understand, this dude doesn't even have any common sense. They're in a pandemic where they can't pay the funds to give him massive contracts to fight journeymen. Like, what are you even thinking, dude?
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, bro. And then I saw that people were trying to compare his payday with Shakur Stevenson. But you got to understand, bro. Shakur Stevens is a silver medalist, bro. He's already a world champion, bro.
He's not even fighting anybody.
And he's defending the belt, bro. So all that, bro. Of course, he's gonna get a bigger pay grade, bro. You can't be comparing yourself to champions, bro. You're barely a contender, man. You're barely working yourself up the ladder, man. So be appreciative of the $200K they offered you, bro. And this is just for the moment. Probably by fall you'll go back to your normal payday plus attendance and all that situation, man.
Yeah, and here's the reality of it. Here's the reality of it too, guys. The promoters get all the money, and they divvy this shit up. So talk to Oscar, because don't get mad because Bob Arum treating Shakur better than you being treated. That's he ain't divvying up the money right. Talk to Oscar. Stop crying.
These New Day boxers want money to fight instead of fighting for money. You know, they want paydays before they take fights instead of fighting for paydays and working their way up to these big paydays. All of a sudden, they expect their Instagram following to get them massive paydays and huge fights. Like Ryan Garcia, just sit the fuck down. Go fight somebody with a heartbeat.
Right. Yeah. The issue is it's not just paydays. Like the other guys got the hardware to go along with it too, and that's what's missing from his thing. He's Anyway, good luck to the young man. Apparently, he's making a lot of money outside of boxing.
Yeah,
maybe that's where he should follow his heart. He should follow his heart.
And also another thing, Ryan Garcia was talking about Tank like Tank is trying to be Floyd Mayweather. Like, dude, you're acting like you're on the Floyd Mayweather route, like you're the kingpin of boxing, controlling all the money when you haven't done shit. Whereas Floyd had to work for 11 years in order to get one big payday against Oscar De La Hoya.
Right.
Yeah, he's acting like Floyd at 21. For sure he is.
Right. And look at Canelo, 2 years older than Ryan Garcia. He was 23. Ain't nobody going to tell me Ryan Garcia going to be out there trying to fight the best in boxing 2 years from now. He ain't. Yeah. You know damn well you're not either, Ryan Garcia. You're not. Canelo fought the best in boxing when he was 23, dude. 2 years older than you, Ryan Garcia. He fought the best in boxing. Shut your little pretty boy ass up and go sit down somewhere, bro. Somebody need to rag that face up real good in the fight so he can start running around with this modeling complex, man. Somebody need to get him up real good. Knock that face up real good for him. Let him know
I need to start looking for some featherweight or light.
He's gonna be like, don't touch the money maker.
hey guys, that Charlo tweet, that was a powerful tweet. I'll tell you that much.
What Charlo tweet? Fill me in. I didn't.
You didn't see what Charlo tweeted him? Can one of you guys find it and put it on the screen?
He said that he was making $100,000 when he fought with Golden Boy, and ever since he left Golden Boy for I guess Al Heyman PBC, he's making 10 times the amount, which is $1 million.
Which Charlo told him that? Jermell.
Jermell.
Oh, well, Jermell. Okay, well that might be true. I mean, because if Jamal would have said that, I would have said Ryan Garcia should just text Jamal back, say, "You lying bastard, you ain't made $1 million yet."
The thing is, though, this dude was out here bitching about, like you pointed out, D. This dude is out here bitching about what Oscar De La Hoya was paying him a month ago, and now he's talking about him not, living up to his contract. Like, dude, you could have fucking left him, you idiot.
Right, and you re-signed. Like,
that's crazy, bro. If this
don't
fool
you have
goes to
lawyers to go through
PBC,
your
bro,
contract with you? You signed for this.
all I'm
I'll
saying,
tell you
bro,
like this. I even think Ryan Garcia fits in better with PBC. He's a better fit at
that's what I'm
PBC, if you ask
saying,
me.
bro. If you think
He
he's
is,
a
bro.
deal
When I
right
seen that
now,
tweet,
bro,
when I seen that
with
tweet, I
PBC,
started thinking he's a better fit at PBC.
Listen, Black and Brown, please don't start talking like that because I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't think nobody is a better fit at the PBC the way they do it right now. And I'm not. Look, you can call me hate on the PBC or whatever. I don't like the way the PBC moves. I don't like the way they move the fighters. So I would
None
not
of us do, D.
anybody go into that travesty. No one.
Just seems like he wants to fight
so-
nobody
right.
for a lot of money.
Yeah. So
He
I was
wants
just
to
having
live
a
off the
conversation.
publicity. Go ahead, D.
I was-
Go ahead, Smoke. My bad.
Yeah, no, I was just hearing about a. I mean, I was just talking to someone about the Muhammad Ali Cleveland Williams fight, where he had a bullet in his stomach, and he had to fight to pay for his medical bills, and finally, died of kidney failure because of the lead, the poisoning of the bullet kind of thing. But he still had to fight, and dragging a leg around there in the fight, and for me, I can understand why there's some pushback from fans as we see this transition of boxers having more say in their careers. But I'm going to speak up for the PBC. I actually appreciate a lot of aspects of what they did. I love the fights that they had during this virus, and I'm glad that they're on that they have so many stars. Right, I like to see the fights. I actually liked all of it, mostly all of their fights of last year. Like their headline fights, they've been good.
Smoke. They had stuff during the pandemic.
Yeah, no, they were rebroadcasting, you know what I'm saying. They were showing the rebroadcast of old fights, and it was just it got me through.
I get it. You just felt like you had to come defend the PBC no matter what, right?
No, I'm just telling you, it just happened. I'm just saying, listen, we just went through this whole thing about black-owned businesses, right? That we're going to support them, right? But then when it really comes down to it, it's really what people just have their own preferences for what they have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just appreciate the fact that these guys actually entertain me, and they actually are good fighters, and they actually put on good fights.
Yeah, man, look, if the PBC didn't resurface Harry Greb tapes, fuck them. I'm not watching it.
Nah, bro, but Smoke got a point, bro. The PBC is the best place if you're a star, bro, because that's where you could capitalize the most money. It gives you the most freedom, bro.
It does give you some freedom, but honestly, every fighter should choose to promote themselves.
Man, the PBC is good for this. This is what the PBC is good for. If you want to make some money and not do shit, then go to the PBC. That's what
I was gonna say.
That's what they do.
That's why Ryan Garcia fits in perfect.
They're not
perfect
good
fit, Ryan Garcia.
Can you imagine Fox promoting Ryan Garcia, bro?
Oh, bro, it'd be crazy.
The PBC is not very good at building up fighters from prospects. If I were a prospect, I would go to Bob Arum, honestly, because even
exactly, and I agree 100% with that sentiment right there. They're more suited for guys who are ready to take control of their own careers.
Yeah, you can't argue. One thing, that's the thing. Like Bob Arum, I give him all the heat in the world, no doubt. Mike R in the building. What's good with you, Mike R? I give Bob Arum all the heat in the world. But when it comes to developing young fighters, bro, he does his thing with that. And nobody can deny that. Top Rank does that thing with developing young fighters. So that I agree with you.
That dude did a phenomenal job with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. He built them up fast, but gave them slow and good step-ups every time.
Yeah. I mean, but
even though Loma was older, they did a great job with Loma.
And before Stevenson and Teofimo, I mean, look at Mikey. Look at
they got the right pace for every fighter. Look at Jose Ramirez, bro.
The list goes on and on. Bob has created over the years, guys, like a lot of great fighters. Yeah, some of them may have left him because of his bullshit, but he got them there, and we can't take that away from him.
Yeah, and also just to piggyback something else Intandra was said, I think the fighters do need to be out there promoting themselves. Before Shakur Stevenson or Teofimo was on ESPN. I saw their fights on YouTube.
Social media, man.
All right, Bob. BOP Boxing. Appreciate you coming through, fam. And y'all go check him out if y'all get a chance. BOP Boxing. I put the link in the chat earlier. Mike R says Ryan should be grateful he has Reynoso as a trainer. He just wants money to buy Ferraris and none of like Spence. Oh shit, yeah, man. It's just the money. It's just the money situation. And again, with Ryan, like, he gets no sympathy. He gets no pass because my whole thing with Ryan is ignorance, bro. Ignorance. I don't, I can't give people a pass for being ignorant. If you're going to talk so much shit, like you're this, that, and the third, you're worth all of this, then dude, you should be detailed about the things that you signed for. Yeah, we call these guys kids, but what is his age? You a man. You running up on these Oscar and these execs and you telling them this, okay, well, be a man. If you're going to be a man, look into your affairs. He should have had lawyers or whoever read that contract out so that he understood it, because obviously he didn't understand his contract and didn't realize that they could pay you a minimum. Well, they're paying him a little more than his minimum, and he's still crying. Well, you signed for that, Ryan Garcia. You idiot. So you have to take it.
4th of July, that's a huge fight. Take that.
Yeah,
100,000. Who cares? That's huge.
Just like El Jefe said, I ain't trained. I ain't been in the gym or nothing. You give me 200,000, I'll go fight tomorrow. Short.
Hey, you know what, guys? It's probably better for us though, because we get to see Virgil Ortiz, and maybe that'd be better for us anyways. Put a real fighter in there.
All right, so just straight up, right? So everyone was saying that I think it's a fair point to say that people think that Ryan Garcia should not have re-signed with Oscar De La Hoya. I heard the PBC, but that seemed like a backhanded like it seemed like you were more talking shit about the PBC than really saying Ryan Garcia should go there, right? So now the question is,
no, I said
the question I have, no, for real. The question I have is though, for real, is like, where do you think Ryan Garcia should actually be? Like, what is an actual good fit for him for real?
PBC.
Depends on what. No, listen. It depends on what he's trying to do. If he's just trying to fight these big fights and not really fight nobody and fight 2 times a year and make $1 million, then he should go to the PBC.
Nah,
I think the best.
That's what everybody else is doing. Like Teofimo is fighting 2 times a year and making $1 million, right? Like everyone's doing that. Devin Haney is fighting 2 times a year, making $1 million. They're not on PBC.
I think he should join. I think he'd probably.
Teofimo.
Wait. I think the most realistic option for Ryan Garcia is probably to join Matchroom, because that's where guys like Devin Haney, and that's where some of the guys around his weight class are at.
Yep, that's exactly what I just said. Go rock with Eddie, bro. Again, I don't care what nobody's saying. Smoke, you already know. I ain't no damn PBC hater. I have said plenty of times, I don't like the way. Listen, Tank Davis. I'm going to talk about Tank Davis in this situation about the PBC. I was a humongous Tank Davis fan. Kept pissing me off and pissing me off and pissing me off. And now we have people like my man El Jefe still talking about some damn process. And this dude is a 3-time champion. Come on, bro. I cannot. Jamal Charlo. Deontay Wilder. I didn't like the way Wilder was moving. Like, I don't like the way the PBC moves their fighters. So no way would I suggest anybody goes there. I don't care who's over there. Spence was over there with these fucking fellas for 5 years and none of them would fight him. So I don't care who's sitting at the PBC, because the simple fact that they're sitting at the PBC does not mean they'll get these fights.
Smoke just got a permanent cape on for PBC.
You do realize that the PBC has only been
about the PBC. Smoke has to come to their rescue, no matter what you say.
Okay.
He'll even take it in a negative way, even if you don't even mean it in a negative way. He's gonna take it and spin it and wrap it in a negative way and come.
Okay, I get it. I know you want to. I mean, yuck it up about me, but like, really, the PBC's only been around for 5 years. So Spence has got fights. He's like the unified champion. So it's not that he didn't get fights for 5 years. They've only been in existence for 5 years. Like, you guys really
defending nothing. You're defending nothing, bro.
It's me that's tripping. It's me that's tripping. Like, right? We're not going to take into account any of the fights that they actually made. Right? We're just going to talk about like 2 or 3 fights,
bro. This conversation was not about PBC. You're defending.
I got it, dude. This conversation is not about me. You just interrupted me to.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna let y'all go, but just go one at a time, bro. Y'all can go back and forth. Just go one at a time, because nobody can hear y'all.
Yeah,
Smoke. You've done nothing but defend the PBC, but nobody was on here taking shots at the PBC. Nobody was even doing that. You came on here and made it like that.
Who said someone's taking shots? You are the one who's telling me that I'm defending it. We are just talking about it. You are the one characterizing my behavior. Instead of focusing on me, why don't we just talk about the subject? Why don't we just actually, we're both talking about the subject. You just want to talk about me.
Okay, hold on. Smoke, hold on.
I don't give a fuck about you.
Black and brown.
Then don't talk about me then. Then stop talking about me. Then what you worry about what I'm doing?
All right. Dude, y'all gotta chill for a second. Both of y'all gotta chill out. Oh, damn, I done kicked intangible. Black and brown. Chill for a second.
This is why.
Hey, man, we can reach this conclusion real quickly.
Kicking you back in the back, bro. You are talking right now, and you're backstage, my nigga.
Hey, man,
you backstage, and when I bring you back, you're still going. Like, I'm trying to catch control over this live, bro. Chill for a second.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is this, man. In order for these guys to really build up their careers, they need to go sign where the real fights are at, which is Ricky Hatton's promotional company, man. I believe that he and Lucas Brown will take over the sport of boxing.
I want to say this right quick about. Hold on. I want to say this right quick. Smoke. You have to stop taking this shit so personal when people come at you about being in defense of the PBC. Because listen, you and I have went back and forth about this plenty of times. Smoke. We are not, listen, this is whether you believe it or not, this is the image that you are portraying, fam. And it's not.
I understand.
Okay, hold on. Smoke, let me finish talking, my nigga, please. It's not like because you get so touchy about the situation with anybody come at you, but this is the way you make it seem. Because just like Black and Brown just said, sometimes, and it's true, sometimes we're not even going at the PBC, but then you'll come back at us in defense mode as if we was going at the PBC. So if you keep acting like this, you have to accept the fact that people are going to look at you like you're just a PBC protector because you argue with me about it, you argue with Unbiased about it, you argue with Black and Brown about it. Like, we're not all making this shit up, Smoke. This is the image you're portraying, bro.
Okay, I got what you're listen. Here's the thing. I don't take it personal. It's not that. It's really not that deep. It may sound that deep. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you should see my face more often or something. But maybe you're hearing something in my voice that really ain't in my heart. Right? It's not that deep. Really, I'm just having a conversation about boxing. You can talk about my particular biases, the way you perceive them, till the cows come home. That don't bother me. I'm just talking about boxing the same way. I was like, okay, so PBC, fine. Have your jokes. Now, where do you think you should go? Because I'm actually genuinely interested in the kid. I think he's okay. I don't think that Oscar De La Hoya is a great promoter at all. The kid, it seems like he should be further along, both as a fighter and in his career than he is. But what do you want from me?
Hell no, Unbiased. Unbiased said Shahani signed to the PBC. Hell no. But look,
I'm saying.
Check this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Check this out with Haney. It's Bill Haney is his dad's name, right? He already came out, and I every time somebody bring this up, because I did a video on this, and I was reading through Bill Haney. He made a few articles and interviews. He talked about this. He is dead set against messing with the PBC or Floyd and Ellaby. That shit's never going to happen with Devin Haney, and his father guaranteed that. He said himself. As a matter of fact, in one of the interviews, his dad. Devin Haney's dad said the exact same thing that I'm saying about the PBC. He said, he respects all the guys over there. And, if they feel that they're comfortable in what they're doing with the PBC, then more power to them. But he said he does not like the way the PBC moves fighters. And he does not like the way business operates over there. And Devin Haney will not be signing to the PBC. So for anybody who even suggests that, understand this. Devin Haney has, promotional control over himself and his dad and his dad's partner. And then the other half of that is Matchroom. Ain't no way PBC getting their mitts on Devin Haney, bro. No way.
I hope not. You stay right where he's at.
He ain't even got
what fighting nobody for millions of dollars? I don't get. I really don't get what the criticism is. But okay, cool. I mean, Devin Haney could do it because he's not with PBC, I guess. Cool. But I'm just a PBC.
My criticism is right here, Smoke. What is Jamal Charlo right now? He's a worthless WBC.
What the fuck?
Champion. What is Tank Davis right now? He's in fucking limbo, crying about Floyd Mayweather training Devin Haney. This is my complaint. These guys making money. Okay, they're making money. What was Adrian Broner? What is his legacy? He made a bunch of money. What's his legacy? See, this is what I'm seeing of the PBC. What is Wilder looking like right now? He didn't learn a goddamn thing his whole career. Now he lost his belt looking stupid in the goddamn face. That's my complaint about the PBC. They're paying guys. I'm not gonna deny that guys are not making money, but what the fuck are they accomplishing, bro?
Yeah, again, the PBC has been around for 5 years. If you look at Deontay Wilder's career in the last 5 years, that's when he's fought his toughest competition and got all of his shine. I think that you are accusing PBC of what Golden Boy did and what Golden Boy is about, or what the best, or what TBE is about. It's not this. I think you're. I think you're putting. Okay.
What do we got to do with Charlo? I didn't only mention. I mentioned guys that
Charlo. Which Charlo? Which Charlo?
What do Jamal or Jamel or Tank have to do with Golden Boy?
Nothing. What's the matter with it? What's the Tank?
Boy simply because of Wilder, because he's the only one who fits into that. I mentioned 5 different guys from the PBC.
Right. I also said TBE. I also said TBE. No, I also said TBE. I also said TBE.
Of being a super Wilder.
Okay, I also said TBE. I also said TBE because that's what Tank is. That's where Tank is signed to.
Bro, they still with the PBC. Floyd proved PBC, bro. Don't try to separate.
Listen. I said Golden Boy and TBE. You're putting that on PBC on what
everything concerning TBE with PBC, because everybody fucking knows Floyd has massive influence and they are together, bro.
Okay, so what do you think about it? So then what do you think about Badu Jackson? What do you think about Badu Jackson?
You know why, Smoke? Because it's all the same bullshit. TBE.
Okay, I got it. I get it. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. No, I mean, you come on with it. Like, really, it's not the same thing, and you know it's not the same thing. But whatever. Let's pretend like it is. Let's just throw it all together.
How do we get back on this argument again?
I don't know. Black and brown. Hold on. I said, Smoke, it is the same bullshit. Now, let me break it down and explain to you, because you always like to play literal. This is what I mean by the same bullshit. Not your interpretation. I'm telling you what I mean. Right now, Smoke. This is what I mean by that. TBE, Tank Davis, fighting all of these worthless fights and basically accomplish nothing. PBC and the fighters that I mentioned, fighting all of these damn fights and basically accomplish nothing. The same shit, bro. And you know why it's the same shit? Because the same man who is in control of the shit that's happening is in control of both. I don't care about no fucking Heyman. Floyd Mayweather is running all of that shit. And he is the center of all of the bullshit that's happening. That's why I said it's all the same to me. Whether that's true or not, that's my opinion on it. And a whole lot of other people's opinion on it, because he's always tied up in some bullshit. Come on, bro. I'm not separating TBE and the PBC when it's all the same fucking malarkey going on. Come on with that, bro.
Yeah, so I speak to your opinion. Like, that's your opinion. It is what it is. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm just telling you my experience from what I've experienced. For me, I'm seeing guys who are becoming champions and making millions of dollars. For you, you're seeing people that aren't doing anything. You know, it's just a perspective.
No. I said they're making a lot of money.
I also said they're champions. I didn't just say you said they're doing nothing. I said they're champions and making money.
They ain't accomplishing shit. That's what
I feel like
Jamal Charlo is a champion. You're correct. He's making money. He is a champion. What the fuck is he accomplishing?
Being a champion, having title defenses.
No, he's not accomplishing shit because one smoke, they gave him the fucking belt and he has not defended it well. So he ain't accomplishing a goddamn thing, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay. You do know this is his second division, right? And it's a career, and he's still like not there, and he's like 30 years old.
Anything with it. What you talking about? This is second division. Trout was his best win at the other division. What did he? I mean, J-Rock was his best win at the other division. What did he do there, Smoke? He ain't accomplished.
Okay, but okay, all right. You saying did he not fight Trout? He did fight Trout too. I mean, you mentioned his best one, but it wasn't his only one, right?
What the fuck? Okay, look. Instead of going about who he fought, what does he accomplish, Smoke? What makes Jamal Charlo so great then? Since you want to,
as I said, okay, right? As I said, okay.
What is he?
Okay.
What
he is a. I'm answering it. I'm answering the question. Jamal Charlo is a 2-division champion in the sport of boxing. He has defended his title, I believe, twice, if not 3 times. Right? That's what he's achieved, and he's the current middleweight champion. That's what his achievements are, right? You can break down like whatever your level of competition, you can do all that stuff, but that's just as a snapshot. That's what he's achieved inside the ring. We already talked about, how he feeds himself, right?
So now I'm going to give you Jamal Charlo's achievements. Yes, I agree with you. He won a championship at 154. Now, on to his other achievements. At 160, he was given a belt and he defended it versus low-level competition. He was given a belt that he has not defended well, not once. That is his so-called accomplishments. So we can go ahead and say, oh, yeah, he's a 2-time champion. He did this, he did that. But let's break it down exactly how that happened. And it ends up that he didn't accomplish a goddamn thing, bro. Let's not even sit here and gloss over or try to pump up what he's done in boxing. That fool ain't done nothing in boxing, bro. And he won, and then he turns down a Canelo fight, biggest fight in his career, turns down an Andre fight, unification. Get out of here with that, man.
Okay, so again, the dude is what, 30 years old? Is he just made 30? He is on his second. I don't know when Korobov became low-level competition. I think it was a fine defense of the title. Anyway, I guess we're just not going to. However it is, you see it is how you see it. Like I said, it's your opinion, it's your perspective. I'm just looking at it as an objective thing. The guy is if you look at it, when it's all said and done, it's going to show him as a 2-division champion.
Sean Newton, they made Dennis Hogan top 10 just to fight Jamal Charlo. So you will get kickback with any of these PBC lovers if you say that Charlo hasn't fought top 10, because technically Hogan was a top 10. Was he worthy of a top 10? Fuck no. But he was made top 10 so that it could be justified for Charlo. And these are Charlo's accomplishments. Oh, not to mention that he came up from 154. Get out of here, man. Defended. He ain't defend well. So what? He defended against some freaking. That's why if a man comes up from 154 up a weight class, what, now he's an elite 160 pounder? Now he's a valid 160 pounder? He ain't defended well at all.
He's still fighting at 160. He's still fighting at 160, right?
Charlo has defended well, Smoke. Do you think he's defended that belt well?
I think the Korobov fight was a good defense. Yes,
defended that belt well, bro. That's a yes.
Yes, I said it already. I said the Korobov defense was a good defense. That's a defense. Okay, so yes, he's defended the belt. He is.
Everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel, I'm going to go around and ask you this question. I want everybody in the chat to put your answers in.
Yo, D, hold on, B. I'm just going to go in and out, bro.
Bro, don't come in here cutting me off, dog. Look, everybody put this in the chat. Do y'all guys think that Jamal Charlo has defended this WBC belt well? Give me answers. Black and Brown, you think Jamal Charlo defended his belts well, this WBC belt well?
No, at this point, not yet. No, not
Eric,
at all. I think
Eric,
the Dennis Hogan fight was almost an embarrassment.
Right. How about you, Eric? You think he's defended well?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. And you know what's funny of how Charlo has defended this belt well, but all of these Charlo fans rag on Canelo. Now let's take a look at who Canelo been fighting and who's Charlo's been fighting. But Charlo's defending well. Man, I'm so sick and tired of this Charlo nonsense, bro. Come on with that. That dude ain't defending well. How are you defending well fighting guys moving up in weight? How the fuck is that defending well, bro?
Okay, I said Korobov. Korobov was not moving up in weight. I mentioned one guy.
Talking smoke. Please don't cut me off. Tank Davis fighting guys moving up in weight. Older guys on their way out the door. And these are the 3-time champion. These are the claims that we get about these guys. But look at how they're doing this.
It's about building the champs, bro. It's not just about what you're saying. It's all about building the champs, and that's what they're doing, bro. So I'm not gonna let you talk about Tank like he's fighting bums and all that situation. The only reason he fought dudes coming up in weight is because Abner Mars, when he got injured from his eye, bro. And Leo Santa Cruz, he's been calling out Tank Davis, and that's a big fight that needs to happen. And I also want to address Johnny Boy Kabish, bro. Don't ever interrupt me and other people's in the comment section, bro. We're keeping it boxing, but don't come at me sideways, man. That's all I got to say. Appreciate it.
Everybody leave Johnny Boy alone over here, bro. Y'all handle y'all issues with Johnny Boy elsewhere, because I see too many people coming at Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy, leave Johnny Boy alone. Guido, what's good with you, Guido? Orlando Chavez, what's good? Sean Newton boxing. I know I shouted you out, Sean. Sean says Korobov was fighting 8 rounders at 168. He hadn't been in a top fight for years. Yeah, I know, man. Like, Canelo fights 5 champions in a row and he gets ragged. Jamal Charlo fights Korobov and it's valid. Get the fuck.
I mean, okay. Listen, they're not the same things at all.
I'm just saying.
No, but they're not the same thing. But you didn't put Canelo in there. But you didn't ask me what I thought of relative to Canelo. I didn't put Charlo. Charlo's doing this great thing, but Canelo's trash. I never said nothing like that. Like I don't understand what you got to talk about. Like really, at this point, I'm just saying to you. All I'm saying to you is you seem to have a view of these guys as them accomplishing nothing. I see what they're actually accomplishing. That's it. You don't see it as you don't value it. I'm just saying what they're doing. I say Tank is a two-time champion, and he's working his way up into a new division. That's what I've seen him do.
Let Lomachenko, let Anthony Joshua, let Canelo Alvarez, let any of these guys defend their belts against the same level of competition that Jamal Charlo has defended his belt against, and then in the same breath turn down a unification and turn down a fight with the biggest fighter in boxing. And then let's see what people say about Canelo, Loma, and Anthony Joshua doing that. But when it comes to Jamal Charlo, it's defending well. Get the fuck
Jamal Charlo, right, and all we know about him turning down the biggest fight in boxing was Oscar De La Hoya saying that at some point after the fact. Man, come on, like miss me with all this stuff, man. Like I get it. You feel the way you feel. You feel the way you feel. But whatever, man. Like all I'm saying to you is that doesn't mean that he didn't achieve anything in boxing. You guys are just right. You just don't like the guy.
Smoke. Okay, so why he turned down the fight? Smoke, explain it. Because you got explanations for every fucking piece of bullshit the PBC do. So explain to me why he turned down the Andre fight. Explain this one, Smoke. What's your explanation for this one, Smoke?
What do you mean? Why? I don't know why he turned down the Andre fight. Like, what are you at? You are the one telling me that I'm a PBC fan. I did not come here and say I'm going to defend the PBC. This is the jacket you guys are putting on me from your perspective.
Jacket on yourself.
It doesn't mean that it's true. It just means that that's what you think. I don't know why he turned down the Andre fight. Okay, I don't know that.
Give us the truth.
Smoke, you always.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't have a pipeline to the PBC.
You know why you don't know? Because it's straight bullshit with Charlo.
Okay, I guess you know, but you know.
Hold on. It's straight.
Okay, I got it. You know.
Bitch ass move. It's straight bullshit. It's a bitch ass move by Jamal Charlo. He definitely should have took the unification. It's no excuse. It's no way to excuse him. It's no way to defend him. So the easiest thing to say about this situation, I don't know.
Oh no, I can actually come up with a reason for it. I just don't know that the reason is valid. I can give you a reason that is reasonable. I can give you a reasonable reason why he shouldn't have done it. Say again?
Give it to us then. I want to hear this.
No, we know his reason though.
Right,
his reason is you could get the same money fighting three different fighters.
Let him give it. What's the reason?
Right.
Why would he turn this fight down?
To fulfill the business that he has at PBC.
What's that business?
Yeah, what business? What business?
The championship fights on Fox TV. 2.4 million views and climbing for his fights.
Hold on.
Eric,
Let me do this, Eric. Let me do this. So you're saying that he is turning down unification and accomplishing legacy to satisfy money fights.
I think that is what I'm suggesting. That is a reasonable reason why he would do it. Okay. I don't know that that's what happened. Again, you're just asking me to provide you with a reason, right?
No, you said you were going to give me a reasonable reason, and if
that is a reasonable reason. Yes, that is a reasonable reason. Correct.
Okay. Yes. I don't think, as a boxing fan, and as much as I've heard you say, I don't think as any of us as boxing fans that's reasonable to be turning down unification and legacy for some cheap, low-level PBC money fight. You saying that's reasonable? This is boxing. That's not reasonable.
I didn't say it was cheap or low level or anything. That's the descriptor you put on it.
Well, what is Brandon Adams? What is Dennis Hogan?
Low level.
Okay, right, but he didn't turn down the fight to fight those two guys. He's supposed to be fighting Chris Eubank.
He ain't getting 7 million. He ain't getting 7 million.
This is exactly why you wear that tag, Smoke, and you can't never get it when people charge you. This is why you wear that tag.
I do get it. I just don't care.
Yeah,
you can think what you want. You can think what you want. Fine. Knock yourself out. Call me whatever you need to call me. All I'm telling you is if the guy is sitting there on Fox, on PBC, with a raft of guys in front of him to fulfill his PBC contract and the fans don't like it, whatever. Okay. That doesn't mean it's not reasonable. What I'm supposed to think is not reasonable because it's not in my own. Wait a minute, because it doesn't fulfill my own self-interest. That means it's not reasonable for him.
There's not a raft of guys in front of him. He went and personally handpicked Dennis Hogan. He wasn't in front of him at all. These guys are handpicked.
Okay, again,
not again like that.
Wait.
Okay, again, like you said, you asked. Okay, first off, he's supposed to fight Chris Eubank and then Devonchenko. That's what he's supposed to do. Who knows what he's been deal he's been offered? I don't know. I'm not in his business meetings, but he has fights set up.
Those fights wasn't set up before the Andre.
Okay, you guys, right? So you guys know when he's got what his schedule looks like now, right? You guys know what meetings he's in and and how he's moving and how long he's been moving that way. Okay, fine. You guys know. I don't know. You guys know. I don't.
Do you know? Do you know his schedule? The fights he got lined up.
No, I said I don't know. I said I don't know. I don't know. You know. You guys know.
Okay, Eric, Black and Brown. Chill. Hold on. One at a time.
I wasn't even talking.
My bad, but I'll let you go. But just like one at a time. Smoke.
It's all good.
You up here and tell us that you don't know what he has lined up. Then you cannot say he has a raft of guys in front of him. Dude, that's completely contradictory. You don't know who the fuck he got in front of him. You just said that. But then you want to say he had a raft of guys in front of him.
I didn't say who. I didn't say I didn't know who. I gave you the names. I gave you the name. That's the who. I said I don't know when that was set up because they're saying that those guys wasn't set up at that time. And I said you don't know when those fights were set up. You weren't in the room when the discussions were happening. So how are you gonna be like, no, that wasn't then? Just because you didn't find out about it on social media, that's why you're saying it didn't know. Like, just calm down, pump your brakes. You guys are omnipotent. You guys are all knowing. I don't know nothing. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't get it. You guys know. I'll just listen to you.
Okay, Smoke. He has a raft of guys in front of him. Give me at least 5 guys. If he has a wrath, you could give me 5 easy, right?
I just gave you 2. He don't even know what he's going to do with those. He's got to win those fights. He's got to win those fights.
Wait. 2 is not a wrath of guys, bro. So
okay. Other than Andrade? Okay, so you want me to name other guys other than Andrade?
You can't name
I can. Triple G. Okay, right. But okay, Triple G. Canelo.
That's not a fight he can make. Triple G don't want to fight him.
Okay, is that a fight? Is that a guy that he could fight that's not named Andrade? That is a bigger fight and more important fight than Andrade.
No, we're talking about PBC side. We're talking about PBC side.
He has to accept. That's bullshit. It's not a fight that he can fight. It's not an option because Triple G ain't fighting him. So that's not an option at all. 2, it takes 2 to tangle. If one guy say, I'm not fighting you, how the fuck is that an option?
Okay, listen, you guys, like I said, he's got it. You asked me for a reason. I gave you a reason. Now you want 5 reasons, right? You can keep going down this rabbit hole as much as you want. All I'm saying to you is there is a reason outside of your personal self-interest that guy could not take that fight. But if you want to rake him on the charcoals for it, you can, as fans, knock yourself out. I'm not trying to piss on your parade. I'm just saying that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I feel about it. And this is why.
That's not what you're doing. But what you said to us right here tonight, my nigga, this is what you said, Smoke. You said 2 things and you didn't validate it. You said that Jermall Charlo has a reasonable answer, or you say you have a reasonable situation of why he turned down that Andre fight, and I have not gotten no reason from that. Also, you said he had a raft of guys and gave me 2. You didn't validate anything you said, fam.
Okay. First off, the reason why you don't find it reasonable is because you're only looking at it from your perspective. I didn't say I was going to give you a reasonable reason for you as a fan. That's just what you want to hear. But I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what Jermall Charlo the reaon why Jermall Charlo would not take the fight, not the reason why you don't want to take the fight.
Okay, Smoke is not.
So that's firstly. Secondly, let me finish. You said 2 things, so I'm going to address your 2 things.
Okay, go ahead.
You said 2 things. Let me address both of your things. I'm going to address the raft. Raft is not a number, right? It was just a figment to say there's more than 1. I could come with more than 2, right? That's all I was saying. Is a figure speak. You put 5 on it. Okay. I mean, you want me to look through the middleweight ranking and see who's on PBC and give you 5 names? I could do that if you like.
Yeah. Smoke.
I've never heard no one use the word wrath when they're
talk about 2 fucking guys. I was just about to say that, bro. You still full of shit. Ain't nobody saying no wrath or nothing.
Okay, fine. When did you hear wrath being 5 guys? When did you hear wrath being 5 guys? When did you hear the wrath being?
Bro, you just played yourself real hard with that one. It ain't even no getting out of that one, fam. For real. You said a raft of guys, and then you're gonna talk about some 2. Come on, Smoke. Stop that.
Right. Also, I told you the reason why.
If he had a wrath of 5.
Okay. So now this is what you guys want to do. Talk about whether or not wrath is the right word to use. That's where you're hanging your argument on.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
No, let's get off that word. That's fine. If he had even a list of fighters.
Let me put it like this. Let me rephrase. Allow me to rephrase. He has more guys in front of him.
2 words in, because he ain't said nothing, Smoke. Let him get 2 words in, and then you go next.
All right, cool. Okay, go ahead.
Even if he had a list, even if he had a short list, okay, let's use that word. Even if he had a short list, he should have never picked Dennis Hogan off that list because all it did was make him look bad. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care how long the list is, who he's actually picking to get in that ring with him is making him look bad because the Dennis Hogan fight definitely worked against him.
Right. So the issue now is when did that? It's moving the goalpost to a different kind of conversation, and I understand what you're saying when it comes to the quality of opponent that Dennis Hogan saying is right, but that is a different reason that's a different conversation than why not take the Andrade fight because he already fought Dennis Hogan by the time the Andrade fight even came around.
I didn't do that.
Well, I'm just saying, Dennis Hogan's a bad pick if you have a list of guys.
Yeah, well, Smoke, you can come back if you get your phone right. I think your phone died or something, but I'll tell you like this, dog. I'm going to tell you like this. I ain't never heard in my life somebody use a raft of grapes, a raft of money, a raft of anything and only talking a couple. If it's just a couple, then just say, well, he had a couple of guys in front of him. But if you say a couple of guys in front of him, that don't validate your point. But then if you say he has a raft of guys in front of him, then that sounds valid, right? Am I right or wrong here, guys? Has anybody
you're right, brother. You're right.
in their life heard the adjective a raft of, meaning only a few, a little bit? Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's just nonsensical to me.
Okay, so great. So you actually really are stuck. You really are stuck on my term of raft, right? So let me break it down for you. Let me break it down for you. Let me. Okay.
Who uses that adjective and only talking?
I just did.
Whoever does that.
I just did.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. Since it really you're really since my choice of words has blown your mind so much, let me break it down for you even further. Right. The PBC has 10 fights, championship fights that they need to put on per year. Jermell Charlo is slated for a in-house PBC, guys, like I said, or he can go outside of the PBC to do it. But he has PBC business to maintain. That's what I'm saying to you. And it's a 4-year contract. That's what I mean. I can keep going deeper and deeper to what I mean by raft. He has a bunch of ways that he could actually not take the Andre fight in order to fulfill the business of the actual companies he signed to.
Hey, D. Jeff, Orlando Chavez put a good comment up. He said, imagine Canelo fighting Dennis Hogan.
Right. He would get trashed.
Yeah, we already saw him fight Liam Smith. He didn't get trashed.
What?
Dennis Hogan.
We already saw him fight Liam Smith. He didn't get trashed. We already saw him fight Rocky Fielding. We saw him fight Rocky Fielding.
At least he went up in weight. At least he went up
right,
in weight.
I got it. So no, we don't need to imagine it. Like
Okay,
we seen it.
Hold on for a second, Black and Brown.
No, that's two different fighters. Sorry.
Black and Brown. If I'm not mistaken, Smoke, Dennis Hogan, those two names that you just mentioned, Liam for Canelo, right? Yeah, what the fuck?
Dennis Rocky.
And then you mentioned Rocky Fielding. Did he not have a belt?
Yeah, he had a belt.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the same belt. Okay, Tank got that belt, but he ain't doing nothing. Canelo got that belt against Rocky Fielding, and what? We're supposed to say what about it?
I mean, you're the one that brought up Rocky Fielding, and we were talking about Dennis.
I brought up Rocky Fielding because you brought up Dennis Hogan, right? So I brought up Rocky Fielding. It seems like you want to talk shit one way, like this shit, like it's not a universal thing. Like really, what you're talking about is a universal concept. All these guys got soft touches.
That's what the comment was in the chat. Smoke, relax, brother. I was reading a comment in the chat, bro.
I didn't attribute it to you. I'm not to attribute to you.
All right, well.
Hey, Smoke.
Hold on. Oh, bro.
All right.
Like, when I'm talking, just let me get this out. Smoke, you talking about Dennis Hogan versus a Rocky Fielding. And it is really simple. This is not even a comparison. I don't care what kind of belt it was. He had a belt. The only reason Canelo fought him was to get that trinket in another division. Fighting a Dennis Hogan does not even bring you that. Fighting Dennis Hogan was absolutely worthless. So we can't say, oh, well, Canelo fought Rocky Fielding because there was a purpose behind it. A belt. There's no purpose behind Dennis Hogan moving up from 154 when it's your first title defense from a belt that was fucking given to you. Stop this nonsense, bro.
Okay,
and Canelo went up in weight.
Here's the thing. The reason, right? So Charlo had a belt. So why should Hogan need a belt? Just because Rocky Fielding had the belt, but Canelo didn't have the belt. It was still both of them were championship fights. The difference is the championship fight that Jermell Charlo was involved in was actually a real championship fight, not a fake championship fight like you're trying to sell me with Canelo. But go ahead, keep trying.
Wait,
So hold on, Hashman. So Tank Davis fight with Gamboa was a fake championship fight, right?
You got it, 100%.
Okay. Well, thank you. You damn right then. Okay, go ahead.
Trying to get an email belt.
No, because I'm gonna 129 on this live, and I damn sure gonna record this and remember it. I bet not never hear you say nothing else different about Tank Davis ever.
Did he say Charlie's belt is real?
No, he said that the Canelo fight with Dennis Hogan, with Rocky Fielding, was a bullshit fight. But all of these PBC lovers want to throw Tank up Davis up there for beating fucking Gamboa, but it was the same situation. So I asked him, well, was that Gamboa championship moving up a bullshit fight? And he said, I got it.
One thing I'll defend.
I'm gonna keep him to that.
I've been saying that.
Yeah, okay.
One thing I will defend Canelo with. I'm not really the biggest fan of Canelo, but one thing I can say is a lot of guys don't face a top elite fighter like Golovkin and fight in December. A lot of guys don't do that. So he usually fights in September and May. So he took an in-between fight and moved up to test the waters and he fought for the regular title. I don't agree with the opponent. I don't agree. It was a waste of time fighting Rocky Fielding. He might as well fight Callum Smith for the real WBA title, in my opinion. But he fought in December, so he fought 3 or 4 months after fighting Golovkin. So why was it so bad for him fighting Rocky Fielding, but then you have an excuse for a guy like Jamal Charlo fighting a guy coming up from 154 and fighting him in December? He has all year. He's fought Brandon Adams in July, so we expect him in December to fight a big opponent. He just wasted the whole year fighting scrubs. At least Canelo fought Golovkin.
Right. Twice. And then
right. Again, this is not a good... Okay.
That's how you finish it, Hashman. What you just said, too. That's another thing. Canelo, people say, Canelo fought Rocky Fielding. Now look at all the other fights outside of Fielding, right? But then you look at all of the fights that Charlo has fought. Come on, bro. It's like it's no comparison. Canelo get one so-called light touch against the Rocky Fielding, which it was for a belt, whereas Jamal Charlo is getting all light touches. Everything's a light touch.
And also, can I say something?
But again, the whole point of it is it hasn't been everything's a light touch, right? So we can say everybody can agree that Canelo fought higher level competition at 160, right? Okay, and not only that, I can also appreciate the fact that he's moving up. I can appreciate he just fought. I can appreciate all of those things. But the only thing I don't appreciate is calling it a championship fight, which is the only thing I took offense the only thing I've ever said about it was classifying it as a championship fight.
Okay, well let me declassify it. Fuck the championship, and let's say this. It still wasn't equivalent. It's still not comparison because Jamal Charlo pulled Hogan up from 154, whereas Canelo went up to 168 to fight Rocky Fielding. So he went up in weight class where Charlo pulled a smaller guy down. So it still ain't comparable without the guy.
So want me to say Amir Khan then? You want to say Amir Khan?
No. Now you don't change the goalpost because we was talking about fucking Charlo and the Rocky Fielding situation. So don't throw nobody's name in. You dead ass wrong with that comparison. Period.
Can I just mention something?
No. You just changed the goalpost. What you said about Dennis Hogan. You said something specific about him, pulling him up. So if you want to say pulling him up, that's a completely different guy, right? It's not.
Smoke. You said. Sorry.
What I just said, Smoke, that let's take the damn belt out of the situation. This is what I said. Let's take the belt out of the situation. Since you want to talk about the belt, I said it's still not a comparable fight. And then I threw the other reasons in there of why it's still not comparable, bro. I didn't change nothing because we're talking about Hogan fighting Charlo. And then you compared that with Canelo fighting Rocky Fielding. So I said take the belts out of it. And when we look at the comparison, it still don't work because Charlo pulled this man up, whereas Canelo went up in weight.
Okay, great. That's fine. That is fine. The only reason, what we're talking about is level of competition. You are trying to say that it is a increased level of difficulty because he just fought and he moved up. So that makes it a different level of competition or something like that. For me, what I'm saying is it's not even an apples to apples comparison. Do I have to get 10 out of 10? What I'm saying is both guys fight bums. Both guys fight bums that we don't need to see them fight, which is really what my point was. But if you want to talk about the differences between them, I guess we can get all into the nitty gritty to see how they're different.
No.
Okay, you want to talk about the difference between them?
Let me explain. Charlo has been at middleweight for 2 years. Am I right? He moved 2018. 2017. He fought Highland. Highland was a one-legged fighter. He had knee injury. Came into the ring. was a mismatch. Then he fought Centino Jr., who got knocked out by Selecki, and Selecki got whitewashed by Demetrius Andrade. Am I right or wrong? Didn't he get knocked out by Selecki? Selecki knocked out Centino, and Demetrius played with him. Demetrius beat Selecki, who's better than Brandon Adams, easier than Charlo beat Adams. What does that say to Charlo? How does Demetrius beat a better opponent than Brandon Adams so easily, and Charlo's can't even get out Brandon Adams? Brandon Adams got stopped by Thompson at 154. He moves up to 160, and Charlo can't get rid of him. He was surviving, I agree. Brandon Adams was surviving, but you still couldn't get him out of there. Then he finishes the year by fighting a 154, another 154 pounder in Hogan when he could have fought Eubank on the same card. They both was on the same card. Does that make sense? They were both on the same card. Why did they not fight each other? Charlo has fought nothing but bums at 160. Let's all agree. All four fighters.
He hasn't fought anyone in the top 10.
Yeah.
And also,
and you want to be freaking honest about it.
Listen, Korobov has been gone for 2 years out of the sport. He came back in an 8-rounder on the undercard. He took the fight on a 1-week notice, and Charlo struggled badly. He could have lost the fight. So what does that say to Charlo? How did
8-round undercard? Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay.
Hey, get the smoke.
Are you high?
Hashman, let Brian get in because he's been trying to get in.
Yeah.
And let Brian get in for a second. Go ahead, Brian.
You said earlier, what do you want me to do? Look at these rankings and see who he could fight. He hasn't fought anyone in the top 10. So, what's the point of looking at the rankings? He's going to fight somebody from 11 to 20. You can look at the rankings all day. He ain't going to fight anyone in the top 10 because he only fights bums.
Okay, so you actually have to be ranked in the top 15 to fight in the WBC. So I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever. Keep on trying.
No, that's a fact. But I ain't gonna try. I'm gonna lay something on you right here because I'm going off of shit that you saying out of your mouth. Okay, so Smoke just says that Charlo and Canelo are fighting bums. So I want to just go back to these guys' last 6 fights, or last 5 fights. So Charlo fights Dennis Hogan, Brandon Adams, Max Corrball, Hugo Centeno Jr., and Jorge Highland. Whereas Canelo fought Kovalev, Jacobs, Rocky Fielding, and Gennady Golovkin twice. How the fuck are both of them fighting bums? It appears to me that Canelo fought a Rocky Fielding, who was a B-level fighter with a belt, and that is the only person that you could consider a B-level fighter, but he had a belt. Whereas Charlo didn't fight anybody who did anything. And the best out of his last 5 fights was Matt Corrball. And what is Matt Corrball? Is he even a champion of a fake so-called belt? No, he's not. So we cannot say both of them are fighting bums because, again, Kovalev, champion. Jacobs, not a bum. Kill that. Gennady Golovkin, champion. Stop it, man. Stop.
Can Charlo move up to 175?
So we are aware that both of these guys have more than 5 fights, right?
No.
These guys have more than 5 fights, right?
If you want to take it there, I can make it extremely unfair because if we go with more than these 5 fights, Smoke, you don't even want to take it there.
I do want to take it there. If I can make my point,
you don't want to take it there because you'll get destroyed.
If I'm actually allowed to make.
This is why you don't want to take it there because Charlo has a total of 2 relevant fights on his fucking entire resume. Only 2.
Correct. And you know how many fights Canelo has? 53. So let's see if they've both been fighting bums in their careers. Because that's what I said. They've both been fighting bums. Yes, Canelo has fought high level competition. I already said that. All you guys keep telling me is the guys he fought. I've already said 1,000,000 times Canelo's fought better competition. But what that has nothing to do with the other thing that I said is that they've both been fighting bums.
Who's older? Who's older? Canelo? Who's older, Canelo or Charlo? Who's older? Ooh, he's older.
Hold on.
Okay, great. What does that have to do?
let me ask this question. Let me ask this question to you, Smoke, real quick. What fighter in boxing history has not fought bums?
Correct. That's my point. Thank you for actually finally getting none. Zero. Zero.
That's all I needed was the answer to the question so I could continue.
Correct. I did.
The answer to that question, like you just answered, is none. They have all fought bums. So when you sit up here and say Canelo and Charlo are fighting bums, that was a pointless statement, because the point that we're trying to make here is that Charlo is not doing anything and Canelo is. So you just sitting up here and say they both fighting bums, and then you start to talk about their whole resume. Well, all fucking fighters have fought bums, but Charlo is fighting bums consistently his entire career. He has 2 relevant fights out of all of them. All of them. Only 2 relevant fights. Stop it.
Okay. I mean, if you say there are only 2 relevant fights, I guess that's on you. That for what you think, what you consider relevant, I'm not even going there with you. All I'm saying to you is my only point to you is, even if you go in 5 fights, you can find a bum in Canelo fights. If you go back 15 fights, you can find a bum in Canelo, more bums in Canelo fights. Everybody fights bums. He is new to the division, right?
Bro,
yes, he got a yes. But let me finish. Yes, he's a paper champ. Yes, he was a paper champion. He has yet to become legitimize the belt that he's got. The Eubank fight should do it. The Korobov, I think, really legitimized the champ, because that's really when he defended it. But let's say, fine, you don't like the Korobov fight. Eubank should shore up all of that quite nicely. None of this has anything to do with whether or not, hold on a second. None of this has anything to do with whether or not it's a good idea for Charlo to stay and fight at Fox and fulfill his contract for the company that he has with, instead of going with whatever flights of fancy that the fans want, or whatever another promotional organization on another platform wants.
Fans. We don't want that to happen. That's what you're talking as your head of Fox.
Oh my God!
We're fans. We don't want. We want to see Charlo fight the best guys. Why are you worried about? He's got a contract. He's got to do this with Fox. Blah blah. I don't give a fuck. We don't care about that, do we?
Yeah,
right. So stop caring about shit that matters. All you're saying is you don't care about stuff that matters.
If you want to talk about,
no, I'm not making an excuse. It's not an excuse.
All right,
how many fights has Charlo had? How many fights has Charlo?
Smoke, you gotta let him
160.
get in, bro.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
4 or 5 fights at 160. How many guys are good? None. Exactly. You can't really say Charlo has not fought anyone that's good. And Korobov has been at the ring for 2 years and he moved up to 168. So he never had a fight at 168 before. So does that really count? And he got knocked out by Andy Lee. And Andy Lee was an okay fighter. So I just don't understand, man. Charlo has not fought anybody at 160. He's been at division for 3 years. He's not fought anyone.
And turned down an Andre fight, and that's supposed to be justified because he has some kind of business.
I got receipts.
That's ridiculous, bro.
I got receipts.
I get it. I understand what you guys are saying, and you guys, for me, I think that what you expect from fighters seems to be to not take care of their families and take care of what you want to have taken care of, right? And what I'm saying is, to you is because you think $7 million is enough. Let me finish. Because you think, but let me finish. Right, exactly. Because you think $7 million is enough. You feel like you now can dictate what this man. Okay, I listen. Okay,
let him fit. Go ahead, Smoke. Go ahead.
Because fans feel like $7 million is enough and the legacy is enough. That means he doesn't. And because it's what we want. We say forget all this other stuff that he has to consider because it's his life and it's his career, not ours.
You know why?
The legacy isn't enough. His legacy isn't enough.
What's Charlo's biggest payday? He's made what 2 or 3 million in his career, so that's double amount of money he's making, and you're saying that's not enough. This is why there's something wrong with some people. He's fighting in the unification fight for 7 million, and you're telling me that's not enough. That's not enough for you.
Listen, you're telling that guy. He said it's not enough.
2 years ago.
Hold on, guys. This is why we always let Brian get in, bro. Let's go around the table because Brian been trying to get in like all day. He's been real patient, but y'all keep going back and forth and cutting the man off. So let Brian get in on this. Go ahead, Brian.
That's Grandy. No, I'm saying, right, his legacy isn't enough for, Charlo's not going to go down as one of the great fighters. In 10 years' time, the way he's going now, people will forget the name Charlo.
Facts.
Because you are only because you are only remembered about the fights you fought and who you fought. Do you remember that great fight with Charlo and whoever? Just say Charlo and Canelo. Do you remember that was a great fight? People only remember you on who you fought. In 10 years' time, no one will remember the name Charlo because he's fought bums. If you fight bums,
right? So are we assuming that Charlo is not going to fight any?
Was Brian finished talking, Smoke? Because you always say everybody cut you off. Was Brian finished talking, Smoke? I just stopped Hashman from talking.
I thought he was done. I thought he was done.
Okay, I'm telling you, he wasn't.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, if you end up fighting, maybe he will fight some good fighters. But so far, he's a 30-year-old prospect. That's how I see Charlo. He's a 30-year-old prospect who has dilly-dallied his whole freaking career away on fighting bums. Hand-picked opponents to make him look bad. Because when you hand-pick opponents to make you look bad, that's how you end up, because nobody will remember you in 10 years' time. So don't give me this bullshit. Don't give me this freaking bullshit about, I don't care how many titles. I want to see good fights. As a fan, I don't care how much money he makes. I want to see good fights. Right. And if he's not getting the good fights, he will get criticized. And he should get criticized, like any other fighter should get criticized if they do not pick up the right fights, because we only remember fighters and who they fought. Facts. No, that is fact.
And I get it. I get what you were saying. Like, I get the whole thing that we don't know what these guys are getting paid. What we can do, though, is we can go by these guys' reactions, what they defend, what they say, what they do not say. And my whole thing is this. When Danny Jacobs ran up on this man, and right out, you ain't touching no M's. Charlo didn't try to deny it. He didn't talk against it because he knew it was true. So we cannot sit up here and say, when we don't know how much money he's getting from the PBC, what those deals are or nothing, we can't sit up here and say that him turning down that money was not a big mistake, because he ain't touching no M. So $7 million has to be more than he has made his entire career. So when we talk about feeding families and the man got to feed his family, well, God damn it, if you get ready to get a payday, which is more money than you ever made, that's plenty enough to feed your family because you've been feeding them. Now you get ready to get more money than you ever made. So
you know what's crazy?
Don't really apply to me, because that was a lot of money.
And
so is it Brian and P, or should I respond to all three at once, or no? I mean, I would just say there's just a lot of stuff. So for me, Andy Lee was a good fighter, right? He wasn't just he was a good fighter. I don't know why all of a sudden because he didn't win the fight.
Go ahead.
Right. So for me, Andy Lee was a good fight, and that was a good fight. And also Charlo versus Korobov was a good fight. Also Charlo versus J-Rock was a good fight. Also Charlo versus Austin Trout to me was a good fight. But those are just fights to me that I liked from Jermell Charlo. I'm not a huge Jermell Charlo fan. I'm just saying, from what you guys are saying, I don't have a huge problem with him. And you're saying that he's not going to be remembered in 10 years when he has a if he fights Chris Eubank, Deverenchenko, unifies a belt. The dude's 30. He's not 35. He's not 36. He's not 38. He's 30 years old. And you guys, you're saying that he's not even going to be remembered in 10 years when he could be fighting for the next 10 years. So it doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense to me that the charges that you're leveling on him. I don't know why. I get it that you want the fights that you want when you want them. That does not translate necessarily to that means that he needs to do that. That's just what you want.
But you say Eubank guarantees a belt from both of them if he beats them. That's not.
Okay. Hold on. I didn't. That was. Let me finish. Because I didn't address what D's point was. Let me just address your point, D. I'm just gonna address yours, and then I'm gone.
I'm just saying
when Jacob said you're not touching M's, that was years ago. That was before Fox. That was before a bunch of deals. Like you can't. That phrase does not equal ring out in perpetuity.
Mate. It was the same year Fox was launched in December 2018. It was 2018 in April.
Yes, that's 2 years ago. That's years ago.
But it was the same year Fox was launched. So you was wrong. Fox was.
But it's not the first. He had not fought on Fox yet.
Was the same year. Fox was the same year 2018.
Good
so you was wrong,
God, dude, it was years ago. No, you were wrong. It was years ago.
No, you're wrong.
You just said a bunch of stuff to underline what I said. It's years ago.
Okay, listen. It was years ago, bro. It was more than a year, so it was years ago. That's it. I mean, but still, it wasn't long enough to be making no Googles of money, and Fox just signed. That was the point Hashman was making. And when Fox signed, you better goddamn well believe they signed because of Wilder and Spence. It won't cause of no goddamn Jamal Charlo.
The only problem is Jamal Charlo fought on Fox, and he got 2-some million views. He got 2.4 million views fighting on Fox.
Smoke, this is why you are a fucking PBC defender, because we always bring out valid points.
Oh my God, dude, these are relevant points.
It is a valid point.
He ain't touching hands. You
are valid to our points that we bring up. Everybody are valid always to everybody else in the panel, everybody on the fucking in the chat, but it's only to you they're not valid. You don't get this?
I didn't say they weren't valid. I'm just saying I'm making valid points, and I get called a defender for making valid points. These guys, for some reason, they're just objective boxing fans when they make valid points. When I make the same valid point to add some context, I'm just a defender.
You defend PBC and you criticize everyone else.
Bro, who am I criticizing? Dillian Whyte? That's everybody else?
You defend PBC. I criticize. You defend PBC fighters before you defend everyone else.
Yeah, I got it. It's all about me. I'm this horrible guy who's super biased. I got it. So can we move on?
Yeah,
Great.
got it.
Let's move on. I got you, dude. Your points are valid, and you're just an objective boxing fan who just wants what you want. I got it. And I am defending PBC. Knock yourself out. Yeah, let's move on.
All of us.
Every fighter.
Yeah, I got it.
Every fighter has a contract.
We just want what we want, and Smoke is telling us the right way.
I thought Tyler was his own boss.
Listen, there is no right way. Listen, I'm telling you the way that I'm telling you why I am not bitter. I already saw I already saw Matthew Muhammad Saeed not fight Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Like, I don't need to go through all this. I already saw Klitschko not fight. I already saw Vlad not fight Lennox. You guys are sitting around talking about what the fight you don't get. I saw Mikey not fight Loma. You see me getting in arms about it? You guys don't even give a damn about it. But that was a fight I wanted to see.
Hashman and Cryan. You know, Hashman and Cryan. Y'all know who you guys are? You know who you guys are? The majority of the fucking boxing fans. Because the majority of the boxing fans. Bro, let me finish talking, dude. The majority of the boxing fans do want unification, Smoke. The majority of the boxing fans were upset that Charlo didn't take this Andre fight, Smoke. It's not just me. It's not just Hashman. You can sit up here and say, oh, because you want. No, the majority of the fucking boxing fans want unification. But guys like Smoke sees no problem with it.
Because you are full of shit. The majority of boxing fans want to see a knockout. The majority of boxing fans want to see a knockout. They don't give a damn about unification. They don't even know how many. The majority of boxing fans don't.
We'll settle this right now.
Because there's too many belts.
Everybody in this fucking chat, Smoke, you are alone. I can guarantee you. Everyone in the chat, everyone on this panel, and it's not a whole great deal of people in here, but you are dead alone. So you cannot say just me, because I can guarantee you that everyone in this fucking that's listening right now and on this panel would rather see Charlo fight Demetrius Andre than any fucking body you're talking about of his wrath of fighters. It's not just me, Smoke. You're alone. You're alone.
Okay. Again, but you didn't ask me whether or not you didn't ask me what fight I'd want to see. That's just complete. You just moving the goalpost.
Okay,
First you said. First you.
Hold on. Well, I'll rephrase it again, Smoke. Everybody in here, we're not fine with it. You're the only one who's fine with Charlo's foolery. So
I said I'm not bitter over it because I've already gone through it and I'm not tearing my hair out.
You're the only one who's not bitter. You're the only one basically who don't see it as bullshit. You can keep flipping these words around.
I'm not.
You're alone on this, bro. You're alone.
Okay, great. So let's ask the chat. Who's bitter about the fact that Charlo didn't fight Andre?
Well, okay, and let me clear this up. When we say bitter, we're saying we don't like it. And
no, I said bitter. I didn't say don't like it. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. You just keep trying to I got it. I'm the defender. Let's just keep moving. Let's keep moving on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
If you're not saying that, then none of us are bitter. We just don't like it.
The guy just said he was. You just didn't hear him. He just said he is bitter.
I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you, when we say we don't like it, then that equates to your definition of bitter, but you don't want to accept that. So
because you're redefining the word. He understood that before you said it. I said bitter. He understood bitter. You are saying what he said, what he thought. You are not. You are defining. You're just saying what you thought, and you're defining it for everybody. That guy understands what bitter means. He speaks the language.
I'm a passionate boxing fan. I love boxing. Boxing wait, can I explain? I love boxing. Boxing, I have a passion for boxing. And when I don't see a unification at the undefeated 29-0 versus 29-0, 30-0, when these guys are at the top of their peak, their prime years, and they're not fighting each other, you know how disappointing that is as a boxing fan? Of course, I have some bitterness towards me because I want to see these fights. It's not in the bitterness where, I hate this guy for not taking this fight. No, it's not that. I like Charlo. Charlo has a chance of beating everyone. He can beat these guys. It's not like Charlo is a fraud. He can't win. He has a chance of beating these guys. That's why us as boxing fans want to see this fight. We want to see Charlo in a unification fight. In his career, he's 30 years old. He's never had a unification fight in his career. And so is Andre. So I'm not defending Andre as well. Both of them have not faced the best competition.
Andre, just get up here and how the fuck is it you when he arguing with me? You when he going back and forth with Hashman. You when he going back and forth with Brian. You when he going back and forth with Unbiased. You when he going back and forth with anybody. No, it's not us. It's you with your ridiculous goddamn views on this shit, bro. And then you talk about, because what you guys want. It's what the majority wants, Smoke. The majority of the people want unification. It's not just me. It's not just Hashman. This is what boxing is about, dude.
He's separating the facts.
This just because what you want, just because what you want. No, the boxing fans want this, dude. You're the only one who's hunky-dory with all of this bullshit happening. Oh, I'm fine. I'm not bitter. That's cool. He's just trying to satisfy business and all of this dumb shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that.
D, do you know why I explain? Hey, D, can I explain why he's wrong without opinion? Shall I tell you why? Because look at this. Do casuals are interested in watching Charlo versus Hogan? Are casuals interested in that? Or the casuals want a big unification? Do the casuals want a big unification, best fight the best? Are they intrigued in that? Yes or no?
Right. They want championships.
Wait, let me finish, D. Are the hardcores interested in unification fights?
Yes.
So how the hell is the majority not want it? So he just talking nonsense. Exactly. What casuals want to see a mismatch? What? I'm just so confused.
Yeah.
And I just finished his point. You can't come back from that.
Yeah. If Charlo beats Andre, if Charlo beats Carnelo, his money will come.
Exactly. That's the thing with these PBC fighters.
They're greedy guys. Do you know what is?
No. Well, that's not what I was gonna say. I'm saying like when they talk about satisfying these deals and all of this, and chasing the money. If you have multiple belts, if you go out and you capture multiple belts, the money comes to you, bro.
Yes.
I don't want to hear all this satisfying contracts and all of this dumb shit. You can be over on the PBC and satisfy your obligations by fighting for $7 million.
Listen,
Get the
Floyd
fuck
just
out of here with that, because the PBC makes money off that seven.
Yes.
These fighters have to pay out of those persons. So you telling me it makes more sense for the PBC to put Jamal Charlo in a fight where they're making less money?
Yeah, if Charlo,
it's crazy. Look what Mayweather done. Karen.
Sorry, if Charlo beats both of those guys, suddenly he's the man.
Yeah.
If Charlie beats that, and then the money will come to him. It's simple.
That's my
thing. About money. This guy's talking about money. His argument's over, because if he beats both guys, it's over. He can say, I want this for this fight, I want that for that fight, and he'll get it, because he is the man. If he beats both of those guys, if he beats Andre and if he beats Canelo.
Let me ask y'all this.
None of these guys want to fight the best, and they want to demand money, but they don't want to go through the acid test. They don't want to fight the best. Look at Floyd Mayweather. He fought Castillo before pay-per-view. He fought these tough fights with Corrales before pay-per-view. Corrales, Castillo. He only became pay-per-view in 2005 against Gay, and it was the B-side, and he only made $3 million for the fight. And this guy is saying $7 million is not enough. What has Charlo done to say $7 million is not enough? It's crazy. The inflation, the money is getting. Andre Ward fought Kovalev in a pound for pound, number 1 versus number 2 for pound for $6 million. I think he had $6 million for the fight.
Yeah, Canelo didn't make, or Floyd didn't make his money until he fought Oscar De La Hoya. That was his first. That was his first mega fight.
They don't want to take the risk.
They don't want to take the risk. And if they do take a risk and they get beat, they know that money won't be there. And at the end of the day, it's about money. But if you believe in yourself, you should take the fight. If you believe in your ability, if you think you're good enough, you should take the fight.
Okay, again, all of you guys, again, you're pitting this thing about what you want, and you're saying unification. Like, first, let me finish. Let me finish. Listen to me talk. Let me say something. Okay, can you stop? Can you?
Well, to be perfectly honest, bro, Brian was talking and you came in and you cut him off. That's exactly what really happened. He was still talking and you came in and cut him off, bro.
Every fighter has a contract with their promoter. Every fighter has a contract where they have certain obligations they have to object to. So what makes Jamal Charlo any different?
Okay, I'll tell you. First of all, what makes him different is that he's his own promoter, right? So he doesn't have to go where a promoter tells him to go and fight guys. That he can actually determine the fights that he wants for himself. That's why he can map out his own career. Let me finish because I feel like there's a perspective.
Well, Brian, you gotta let him finish, bro, because I keep stopping him when he cuts y'all off. So you gotta let him talk. Go ahead, Smoke.
Right. I think that you guys, this is a generational thing. This whole idea about unification. Let me just explain something to you. I go back to when there was 2 belts. There was really no such thing as these big unification fights. The only thing that these big unification fights are a product of a bunch of sanctioning bodies. That's all it is. It's a marketing tool. Fine, it's a marketing tool, but if I need for the marketing tool to be bigger than the fight itself, that's fine. Like, I don't mind the Andrade fight, but I don't really care. Andrade's not some like monster that I need to see that fight happen. Like, Andrade's cool, but just like Charlo's unproven at 160, Andrade's unproven at 160. So I don't give a damn about 2 unproven guys at 160 fighting because there's 2 belts on the line. That's just like, it's not. Sorry, that's put too fine a point on it. Let me back up. Because that's too fine a point. It's not that I don't care about it. It's not that I don't care about it. I feel like for it to actually matter for the unification to have the actual substance that it should have, then both of these guys need to be fighting and become legitimate champs at 160, and then we can sell the idea of the importance of the unification.
Bro, Smoke, let me just interrupt quick. Let me just sum up. What I'm trying to say is they've both been at 160 for a couple of years. Am I right or wrong? They've been at 160 for a couple of years. They both had made their world title defenses. They both fought these fringe level, these B level, C level guys. I'm tired of them building each other up. They're in their primes. They're both undefeated. They're both world champions. Both of them fight each other. Forget the belts. One Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd Mayweather. No one mentioned the belts at one time. I never heard unification 3 belts on the line. No one cared. It was the best versus the best. Though those two guys, the belts just come with it. When your guys are bigger than the belts, them two guys are the best in the division. Yes or no? The Smoke. Are they both the best in the division? One of the best.
No, neither one of them is the best in the division. No,
So
neither
who
one
is?
of them.
Who is? Smoke,
Yes.
who is?
Canelo.
Okay, cool. Canelo is at super middleweight, bro.
Canelo is he has a belt at 160.
No, but he's not campaigning at the division. So what I'm trying to say is are Demetrius and Andre the top 3-4 fighters in the division? Yes or no?
Sure, definitely.
So why not
Didn't
fight
Floyd
each other
beat
for
Canelo?
unification? Wait, let me finish.
Because
So those two guys are one of the two best fighters in the division. Those two, and Golovkin. Those top 3 are the best 3 fighters in the division. Okay, Canelo.
Actually, neither one of them proved to be better than Devonchenko. Neither Andre nor Charlo have been proven that they're better than Devonchenko.
Devonchenko has lost twice already. Listen, I don't care about. Okay, they haven't proved it because they didn't face him. He's lost twice. He's not. He's up there, but he's not. He's not Charlo or Andre. Listen, those two guys are world champions and undefeated. Those two guys are the best in the division. So I don't know what you're trying to say.
What I'm saying is okay, go. Sorry, go ahead.
Would you rather see Eubank versus Charlo, or would you rather see Andre versus Charlo?
And I mean, whatever, whichever.
Oh my days!
I don't think Andre sucks ass to me, so I don't think it's gonna be a good fight.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying.
This is crazy.
I don't think Andre's that good.
Oh, okay. Smoke, can I get a word in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying right here. Those are the type of situations I'm talking about. Everyone in here wants unification, but Smoke either. It don't matter. But then you will sit up here and say you because of what you want, because of what you want. We are not just hold on. We are not just speaking basically on us. We're speaking on the fan base of this sport, bro. You sit up here and you say you, but if every fucking live, and I don't care if it's on Unbiases, if it's on Marks, if we're on IBB, whatever. The fans want these unifications, Smoke. It's not just me, Hashman, and Brian. We can say you don't care about these things. This is why
right, because ultimately fans want to see a knockout.
Finish, bro.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Your perspective on things is the oddball out, bro. And that's why I be saying you're the oddball. It's not you. You sit up here trying, no, because of what you want, because of what you want. The majority of the fan base want these unifications, Smoke. You have sat up here and you have said, I don't care about belts. I don't care about this. I don't care about fake belts. But that is you. You're alone on this. That's why I say you're alone. Because casual fans want to see 2 champions. They don't dig into the history of this champion has fought this guy.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to be backstage if you don't let me talk, bro.
I thought I was on mute. I'm listening. Go ahead.
On mute. The casual fans do not know boxing the way we know boxing. So they're not going to dig into resumes and dig into who fought who. The only thing that casual fans see, and as we all know, the casual fans are the majority. Diehard fans are not the majority. So the only thing that casuals see is 2 guys with 2 shiny belts. And those are the 2 guys they want to see. They don't want to see no goddamn Korobov or no Eubanks.
Okay, so again, what I was talking about you guys was about fans' interest versus a boxer's fan self-interest versus a boxer's self-interest. That's what I was talking about. And then I was talking about why I don't care, because I actually recognize that there's a boxer's self-interest separated apart from what the fans want. I get what fans want. That's why there's so many belts, because fans just want to see something shiny. But you know what else fans want to see? They want to see somebody get fucked up. So as long as there's a knockout, really, they don't even know who's the champ because there's so many damn champs. That's really where casual fans are. That's actually really what casual fans. That's literally where casual fans are. They come in to see somebody get knocked the fuck out. Now, if you want to talk about a boxer's self-interest and you don't care about a boxer's self-interest, that's fine that you don't care about it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Can I say something? So you're telling me fans want to see, oh cool, Why does Deontay Wilder get so much criticism? He's knocking everyone out. He's knocking this guy out, this guy. But everyone's saying, "Oh, he's knocking out bums. He's doing this and doing this." And when he fought Tyson Fury, that's what the fans want. They want the best fight, the best. So you're telling me you rather see fans want to see Charlie knock out average C-level fighters than fight Andrade?
No,
Is that what you're trying to say?
you're not saying.
Bro, did you not see that Deontay Wilder just made $40 million? Are you like blind to this whole thing? Like there's a report. We all know that these reports are fugazi, but there are reports that the man made damn near 50, and that's just within the last 6 months, like between June and June. If you add May to that, you add like another 20 million reportedly, right? Yes. Let me finish. Because I'm making my point. Because he made my point for me. Because you made my point for me. Yes, people just want to see knockouts. He did not unify at all. He didn't unify at all. He did that just with knockouts and making a bunch of money because that's what the game is. Let me finish. That is the boxer's self-interest versus that is the boxer. Yo, man, can I finish the sentence?
I just muted him. Go ahead.
That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm illustrating when I say a boxer's self-interest versus the fans' self-interest.
Okay, cool. Hey, let me say something. He's very smart because what he's trying to do is he's trying to take the unification bit out of it. Cool. Let me say something. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Joshua, three-head monsters. Before those three guys are the three best guys in the division. So you're number 2, number 3, or 1 versus 2, whatever they say it was for the Ring magazine. And what Ring magazine is the 1 and 2, the best of the division. That's what about. So those two guys are fighting each other. That's the best versus the best. So I don't care. You're trying to say unification, fans. Listen, those two guys are the best in the division. What I'm trying to say, Demetrius Andre and Charlo are the best in the division. You're saying Derevchenko. Is that saying Shampur is the best in the division? He gave Kell Brook a good fight. He gave Furman a good fight. He gave this guy a good fight, but he's lost. Those two guys are the best in the division, and they're gonna fight each other. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're saying, "Oh, you back Derevchenko." We want to see the best versus the best. More fans will tune into Demetrius Andre versus Charlo than watch Derevchenko versus Charlo. No one, exactly. So am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Because I can't find a possible way that he can say something. Wait, you can speak. I want to hear what he wants to say.
Well, El Jefe. Before that, El Jefe, the only person that has made Get This Smoke Quit in the debate is the one and only JFL, aka DSFG. El Jefe, before Smoke even answers that bullshit, let me tell you this right now.
Impossible.
DSFG, JFL, whatever you want to call that idiot, the reason people stop talking to him is because he's an idiot. It's worthless even talk. He doesn't make anybody quit, bro. We don't feel like wasting our time with it. And DSFG couldn't see Smoke with a fucking high power fucking telescope, nigga. He can't see Smoke at all. That man can't fucking see Smoke, period, when it comes to this boxing talk. So don't even start that with this DSFG clown. That dude don't know shit about boxing. Smoke will body bag that nigga, easy work, guaranteed.
Yep. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're telling me it's not in Chango's self-interest to unify? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's what you said.
I didn't say that it wasn't. I didn't say that it wasn't. You're making a false dichotomy. I'm saying a reasonable thing could be that he has other business that doesn't have anything to do with this. Anything to do with fans' interest is just his own self-interest. He could just be building his brand over there, fighting on Fox for the next 4 years because they're getting over $130 million a year to put on bouts. Why shouldn't he get that? While the money is there, why not sit there and get it?
Yeah, exactly.
But do you want him to do that, Smoke, or you want to see unification? You want to see the best fight, the best? What do you want? What do you want to happen?
Okay, like I said, to be. Listen. It's not, but for me, you are the one saying that they're the best. Both of those dudes are paper champions. That their titles were given to them. You are telling me that they're the best. I haven't seen him beat people. I haven't seen either one of them beat anybody the level of Derevchenko, who's lost twice. The guys that they're fighting aren't as good as Derevchenko, who's lost twice.
Mate.
Well,
First of all,
they're the ones who choose their opponents.
Let me say something quick, because he just said something ridiculous. Okay, cool. He keeps saying Derevchenko. I'm tired of hearing this guy's name. Derevchenko lost a close decision to Jacobs. Jacobs lost a close distance to Selecki. Am I right or wrong? That fight was very, very close. The knockdown could have saved Jacobs in the fight. The Demetrius Andre absolutely whitewashed Selecki, who gave Jacobs a competitive fight, and you keep saying Derevchenko. Didn't Selecki give Jacobs a competitive fight, and Demetrius washed him? And didn't Billy Joe Saunders fail a drug test? And when he was made mandatory again, avoided and moved up to super middleweight. So can you explain that, please?
Didn't okay. I think you're a little bit all over the place. Can you hear me? Am I okay? I think okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
All over the place for me.
Okay, no, okay, right. Because
listen.
I'll explain it to you real easy. Luke Keeler. The dude got his belt from fighting an African dude whose name nobody. If you know his name, fine, that's on you. You know his name. The dude is a paper champion. Selecki. He fought Selecki at 154. I'm not even going there with you and Selecki. He's fighting Luke Keeler. You want to get on? You want to get on Dennis Hogan? You want to get on? Hold on a second. You want to get on Dennis Hogan while this guy's fighting Luke Keeler and want me to care about these two guys fighting each other? That's fine. I don't mind them fighting each other. There's also other guys that they can fight that is way better than both of the guys that they've been fighting. It's not just they fight. It's not just unification or bust. They both of these guys have work to do at 160, not just to see each other.
My question. Imagine
I didn't just duck the question. Okay, what's your question? Okay, sorry. What's your question? Well, okay, sorry. What's your question?
Go ahead, Ashman. Give your question because you can't give me one.
You said to me, Derevchenko is one of the best in the division, right? Right or wrong?
Correct. Yes, I said yes.
Okay. He gave Jacobs a very close fight. So did Selecki. Andre beat Selecki way easier than Jacobs did. And also, it was not Demetrius' fault that Billy Joe Saunders failed the drug test. And also he was out of the year for a year, 1 year out the ring, and he took a gamble and fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Is there a question in here? Is there a question? Because I would like to answer your question, but you gotta pose it.
I want to answer it. You said Derevchenko is one of the best division and he's a tough fight. So Selecki gave Jacobs a tough fight. So what's the difference between the two?
What is the difference between Selecki and Derevchenko?
They both gave Jacobs a tough fight. So
did Selecki give Triple G a tough? Did Selecki arguably beat Triple G? The other guy with the belt?
He didn't face Triple G.
Correct. So there you go. Derevchenko did.
But he faced Jacobs and he gave him a very tough fight. But
great. But he also faced Triple G. You asked me why is he the best in the division? Because it's not just Jacobs. He didn't just fight Jacobs.
No, but you're saying Derevchenko. Derevchenko's lost twice.
Correct, because he fought Triple G and Jacobs and gave them both. Okay, dude, I'm good. Okay.
So what you saying is a guy that goes in there and lose to two guys makes him better? Because he lost.
It makes him better than Luke Keeler. It makes him better than Luke Keeler. Yes.
Well,
it makes him better than Dennis Hogan.
Smoke. Fuck that dumb shit, bro. We specifically said. I mean, Haskman specifically said that Andre and Charlo was the best of the division, and you brought Derevchenko in. So I don't want to hear about no fucking Keeler. What I'm asking you is by him losing 2 fights makes him better than Charlo and Andre. That's what I'm asking, not Keeler.
What I'm saying is Derevchenko has and here's what I'm saying, and here is my response to you. Yes, he lost both of those fights, but both of those guys are higher level of competition than both Andre and Charlo face, regardless of whatever weird ass triangle theories you're trying to create to make them better than they are at 160. The fact is they have fought nobody at 160, either one of them. Okay. Meanwhile, Derevchenko has fought somebody at 160, even though he lost. At least he fought somebody at 160.
Smoke. Hold on, Ashman. Hold on.
Can I ask you a point?
You did not answer my question. I need you to see. So you gave me your response. So now what I need from you, Smoke, is a simple yes or a simple no. Does Derevchenko fighting 2 guys but losing to them make him a higher level a fighter or ranked higher or better than Charlo or Andre, who's fucking undefeated? This is what I'm asking. Yes or no, Smoke?
I don't know. Is it higher level or what is it? Higher level or what? What was the other thing?
Okay, here it is. Hashman said that Andre and Charlo.
No,
Hold on, fam.
Oh God,
At the top of the division, and then you came in and said Deverenchenko was higher than them or whatever.
Right? I didn't say it's higher. I said he was no. I said Deverenchenko was one of the best in the division, and he is actually accomplished something.
Is he better than Charlo or Andre?
What did he?
They haven't fought. They haven't fought.
Smoke. In your opinion, is he better than Charlo or Andre?
Ooh. Oh, damn. All right. So I think Deverenchenko gives Andre problems, and I think he gives Andre more problems than Charlo.
Okay, that's great. Do you think he's better than Andre than Charlo?
I think the Andre fight, I can't call it. And no for Charlo. Well, yeah, now I got to see both of those fights. Sorry, I can't call it. I can't call either one of those fights.
Okay, well,
I can't call
it. If you can't call the fights, and Hashman says his opinion is that those are the two top guys, then you can't deny that because you can't say if they're the best or not. So if he says it, you can't come back and say no, they're not.
I did say no, they're not because it's Canelo.
No, they're not.
Right, because Canelo is. That's why those two aren't, because Canelo is.
And after we wiped out Canelo, you brought up Deverenchenko. This is why we
correct, because the other guys haven't fought each other. So after Canelo was Triple G, because Triple G actually did beat Deverenchenko and Jacobs. These two guys didn't even fight these two. So right after that, it's Triple G. So it's still not these two guys. So it's still not these two guys as the top two guys. Like these two guys need to put in work at 160.
Go ahead, Ashman. Tell them what you said again. Go ahead. Tell them.
Cool. What I did say was those two guys are probably 1 or 2 or 3. I said 1, 2 or 3 best in the division.
Sure,
so those two guys are undefeated. Those two guys have belts. Those two guys unification. That's what the fans want.
He said all of
also,
that.
My point is he missed this point. He skipped past the Selecki situation. What I try to compare is a lot of guys compare opponents where this guy fought this guy. He did better against this guy. Listen, Andre fought Selecki. So did Jacobs. Jacobs struggled, and the knockdown saved him from losing the fight, in my opinion. Andre didn't lose a round against Selecki. Didn't lose a round. So what I try to say is, you're saying Deverenchenko, when he had a close fight with Jacobs and lost, and so did Selecki had a close fight with Jacobs and lost, and Andre cleared him out. Billy Joe Saunders ducked him. Golovkin doesn't want to fight Andre. Canelo doesn't want to fight Andre. So how the hell do you call this guy a paper champion when he doesn't have when he wants to fight these guys? Unlike Charlo, when Charlo's turning down 7 million to fight Andre, but you're saying this guy's a paper champion when the guys are avoiding him, and he beat Selecki, who gave who could have beat Jacobs. So explain.
Okay, really, it's very simple. I said they both were paper champions. It wasn't one is just a paper champion, one's not. They're both the paper champions, which is why there's not really a lot of interest in me in that fight right now. Like I wouldn't mind the fight, but I don't have this great thirst to see the fight, and just because it's a unification doesn't add extra motivation for me, because just because other guys did well against guys that they fought doesn't mean they did well against those guys. It'd be different if you were telling me that Andre fought Jacobs, but he didn't. You're telling me that you're talking about what they did relative with a common opponent. Like that's supposed to mean something to me. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Like triangle theory, even if the guy won, like who cares? Like Brazil did better. Like Wilder handled Brazil better than AJ. I don't care about that.
So also, let's take in consideration when Jacobs was in front of Charlo, bro. Charlo told him, "Drop your fight. I'll drop my fight. Let's make that fight happen." What did Jacobs do? He brought up money. The first thing he did, bro. So let's not make it seem like Charlo don't want the smoke. He beat Korobov when Korobov was the boogeyman. Y'all don't remember that Korobov beat Usatagi, who y'all give a lot of props to Usatagi because Plant beat him. But when Korobov beat him, y'all didn't say nothing when Charlo beat Korobov, bro. So let's keep it 100.
Okay, cool. Let me say your point quick. So is Charlo his own boss? Yes or no? Didn't he say he's his own boss, right? And make him the offer. Am I right or wrong? Answer my question. Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead. Sorry, I can hear you. What was your question about the offer?
No, I'm talking to the other person. I'm talking to the other person.
Oh, sorry, El Jefe. Go ahead.
Yeah, El Jefe. So basically, you think that. So what you're trying to say is Charlo? Wait, what I'm trying to say is Charlo his own boss? Yes or no?
Charlo owns his own promotional company. That doesn't mean he's his own boss, bro, because he's still got an advisor to respond to,
Yes.
and that's Al Heyman.
Is he his
wait,
own
but
boss?
an advisor is not a boss. You can have a
No,
advisor.
Bro, I'm not here to snitch on Al Heyman. I'm just telling you how it is.
It ain't about
no. What he trying to say?
Hold on.
He's bringing.
It ain't about no and no dumb shit. An advisor
what he's trying to do is he's trying to bring up this point. He's trying to bring up this point. D, let me say something. He's trying to bring up this point, but he doesn't want to address this point. I've seen in interviews where there's an interview I can show you on Boxing Voice where Charlie was speaking to one of the mixed race guy, the bald guy. I forgot what his name was, and he asked him about a unification fight with Andre. And you know what he said? He's not interested in that fight. What kind of champion says he's not interested in the fight? And there's another interview where his coach said he doesn't want to fight Andrade. So explain those two reasons why he doesn't want to fight Andrade.
Bro, what does that point have to do with what I said, bro? Now you're going in circles, bro. I'm talking about Daniel Jacobs and I'm talking about Korobov. I never brought up Andre, bro.
That's what I want to address to you.
I never brought up Korobov, so I'm not going to respond to that, bro. I never brought up Andre. My bad.
You're talking how
Charles Spence Jr. said it to Crawford.
Drop this fight. Charles the gangster. Drop this fight. When he's a bluffer.
He never dropped no fights, bro. He never dropped the Andre fight, bro. Andre's the one that didn't want to take the smoke because they only paid him, I think, like $200,000. He was almost like Ryan Garcia, bro. They didn't pay him the money. That's why he didn't take the fight, bro.
You're bluffing.
How am I bluffing, bro? When I'm telling you facts.
Do you know why? Because
and speak up, bro. You're whispering.
Listen. Oh wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just finding out.
El Jefe, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
Listen, what I try to say is, Charlie talks a lot. He talks a lot, but he doesn't back up the talk. He does a lot. He said that drop this fight. When he knows clearly that's not gonna happen. When they got fights,
bro, that's called promoting. He's promoting himself. He wants to smoke, bro. He wanted Canelo, bro, ever since they were at 154. So let's not make it seem like the Charlos don't want no smoke when they do want smoke.
Hefe, look, don't come up here with the foolishness, bro, because he turned down the fight. Period.
He turned down $7 million.
So if he wanted smoke, he would have accepted the fight. I'm tired of hearing people say he wants the smoke. But they don't take the fight. He wants the smoke. If he wants the smoke, he takes the fight.
What I try to explain was, why did he say he's his own boss? Eddie, send the contract to me, blah, blah, blah. And then a couple weeks later, he's gone silent. Where's Charlie gone? Eddie sent an offer. What's going on? Then he comes out with a drunk video, drinking wine in the shop, saying, mocking Eddie Hearn, saying this and this. Yeah. Oh, I'm not. I'm not my boss. Why did you not send it to Al and bullshit like that when he said he's his own boss?
First of all, I never heard contracts being sent through Instagram, bro. So you want to fight a PBC fighter, bro. You gotta come through Al Heyman, bro. Al Heyman is his manager. Al Heyman is the dude that manages his career, bro. So let's not make it seem like fights are made through Instagram, messaging, bro. What type of shit is that, man?
Hold on, come up here speaking. Hold on, Hashman. El Jefe, you can't come up here saying false shit, or you will get jumped on. Al Heyman.
I didn't say what false shit did I say? Hold on.
Okay, I'm getting ready to tell you, and I'm putting you on mute so you can be quiet and listen. Al Heyman ain't even fucking allowed to be his manager. So don't come up here saying that he's his manager, because he's not. He's not even allowed to do that. So that was false. That was 100% false, bro.
What do you mean he's not allowed to be his manager, bro? Explain that.
You know about the goddamn rules and shit? You know everything. Then go read it. Go do the fucking research.
He's an advisor, bro. Advisor.
Silence. Because you just asked me a question. Now I'm going to answer it. If you don't fucking know, this is not the old days, El Jefe. We're not going to train you. When you come up here and you so-called go against what someone says out of ignorance, then go do the fucking research. You can do it right now because you're ignorant to the fact that Al Heyman is not his manager. He's not allowed to be. So if you don't know why he's not allowed to be, get off the live and go do your fucking research and come back and tell us why. That's what you do.
How does he excuse a guy he ducked Canelo and he ducked Charlo, and then he's talking about Charlo is this and this? He ducked both of those fights, so I don't know how you defend.
He never dug Canelo, bro. I don't know what you're speaking of, bro.
So
and the whole manager advisor D, you know what I'm speaking of, bro. So don't take it to like minor terms, bro. And ain't no training wheels on this side, bro. Like, come on, let's.
Sport, it ain't no. I'm not being particular when it comes to this sport because managers, promoters, that matters. So you can't run up here and talk about Al Heyman as his manager. No, the fuck he's not. That matters. That matters. You can't say that.
The guy is not his own boss, man. The guy thinks he's his own boss. The guy said, "Send me the offer." He said to him clearly to Eddie Hearn, "I'm my own boss. Send me the offer and we can talk." That's exactly what Eddie Hearn did. He sent him an offer via Instagram. Then he sent him an email after, and then he showed the email to one of the. I don't know who showed it, but it was one of the interviews. He showed the email, and also when Oscar De La Hoya mentioned the talk about Canelo, why did Charlo go silent again and not talk about the issue? He doesn't do that. He does that a lot. He gets silent and he doesn't talk about it. Why does he do that? Can you explain that to me?
Because they all full of shit, Hashman. I'll explain it to you. And then, that's why I don't want to hear this bullshit about they're their own boss. But then at the same breath, these guys are their own boss, but then they have to turn down fucking Andre fights to go satisfy contractual agreements and all. Get the fuck. Them guys can't do a goddamn thing without the PBC telling them what to fucking do. Exactly. Fuck out here, own boss bullshit. Ain't no own boss.
Okay, all right. Right. I mean, I get. I can totally understand why people say what they say, but as a guy who is his own boss that delegates to people for their specialty, I can tell you that the track that you guys are on to explain it, it doesn't sound accurate. I'll just put it that way.
Well, if you're the boss and you're delegating responsibility, then you're not contractually obligated. If it's a delegation, that is something that you decided to do and you're not contractually obligated. But if you're contractually obligated and you are under demand to do certain things, then you ain't your fucking boss because you have to do what you're told to. So it's
No, actually, you're not told. What you have to do is fulfill the terms of the contract. You don't have to do what you're told. That's not what a contract is. A contract is not doing what you're told. That's not what it is.
You don't know the contract.
If you the boss, you write the fucking contract. You make the deals.
Anybody could send the cut. Now, okay, all right, guys. This is too complicated. I'm just telling you that you're not correct. You're not right when it comes to this. That's all. I'm gonna get out of this conversation on this one. I'm gonna just say
here's the real thing. We all know, and everybody around the fucking boxing world knows that Al Heyman and the PBC are using these little bullshit loopholes so that Al Heyman can still run the show. But PBC protectors, whoever they are out there, no specific names, but PBC protectors don't want to accept the fact that this is the type of foolishness going on over at the PBC. See, it's all these loopholes and bullshit so Al Heyman and Foy can still run the show. And all of these guys calling themselves their own boss and all of this, no, they have to follow contractual obligations. See, but all of the PBC lovers always try to mask all of this bullshit. It's a whole bunch.
No, bro, that's what I was trying to say, but I ain't trying to snitch on Al Heyman, bro. So that's what I'm trying to say, bro.
Going on over there?
You work for the PBC.
I don't work for the PBC, bro, but I understand the game, bro. And sometimes the game is not there to be told, bro.
So how is you?
You don't have to tell no game
when it's facts. When everyone knows the issue. We all know what's going on. And
we all know what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. If we know what's going on, why don't Eddie Hearn know what's going on and send the email directly to Al Heyman? Why is he trying to come at Charlo directly? Because he know that's a front, bro.
Okay, cool. So then why can't he shut his mouth and not call himself a boss and saying the contract to him?
So your problem with your main problem is Charlo calling himself the boss, not the contract obligations, not the contract being sent. Your problem is him calling himself the boss, bro.
You know why he failed? Let me finish you off right now. This is where I finish you off. So, cool. Charlo has the email. Okay, cool. Charlo sent the email. Charlo sees the email. Can he not just forward it to Al Heyman and discuss business quietly? oh, why does he have to talk online, make a stupid video? Oh, send the contract to Al Heyman when he can fucking forward it to Al Heyman. So how do you explain that? Explain that.
Because that's trying to cut ties, bro. That's not the professional way to do it, bro. When you want to speak to bosses, you speak to bosses, bro. You don't tell the worker to go and tell the boss, bro. That's not how it works, bro. You go directly to the boss, man.
He flopped again because if he's a role, if Charlo is being role, he would have just sent the contract to Al Heyman and said, "Oh, Al Heyman, do you know what's going on?"
That's not how it works. I just told you how it works, bro. You go directly towards Al Heyman, bro.
Hey, El Jefe, hold on right quick, Hashman. El Jefe, let me ask you something.
Oh my goodness.
No, I want to ask you this real quick, El Jefe. If there is somebody that you conversing with, right, El Jefe, and you're talking about a certain sport, and they're actually actively involved in that sport, don't you think they will have some information on what's going on in that sport? Huh, El Jefe? Like, if they're actually involved in the sport that we're talking about, do you think that they would have some type of information or would know something about the sport if they're actually involved in that sport, El Jefe? Do you think so?
The game is not there to be told.
Hold on. El Jefe, it was just a question. Do you think an athlete that is involved in the sport that we're fucking talking about would know something about that sport? That's an easy question. Yes or no? Do you think they would know something?
The game is not there to be told, bro. The game is.
Well, look, check this out. You don't want to answer no questions, then you don't want to be on this fucking panel because this is a discussion.
They've lost
bro, I could answer the question, bro. It depends on the fighter, bro.
No. Do you think an athlete in a sport that's involved in the sport would know something about that sport? Do you think so?
It depends on the fighter, so yes or no.
Yeah, well, Hashman's involved in this fucking sport, and you're not. So you can't.
Bro, I've been around the sport of boxing for years, bro. So I don't care if Hashman boxes or not, bro.
How old are you?
Hold on, Hashman. Y'all are nearly the same age, El Jefe. So stop your bullshit right now. Here's a big difference, though. You guys are literally a year apart, okay? But here's the big difference. Hashman is actively involved in boxing right now. And you are actively involved in running around YouTube, trolling on channels. So cut that shit out about this man not knowing anything. Seriously, dude.
I never say he know anything about the sport. I'm just correcting him on a certain topic, bro. I never addressed his knowledge of boxing, bro. And you keep on taking shots at me, DJ. Saying we want to keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, bro. I've been cooking for you. I've been botting you for years, bro. And now you're mad because I'm botting you again, bro. That's just the way boxing is, bro. We don't have to agree on everything, bro.
That's how they speak. That's how they speak when they lose. That's how you speak.
Yeah, that's right, Hatchman. And another thing. El Jefe told me crazy guys, because motherfucker, you ain't even known me for a full year yet. So how you been bothering me for years?
Answer a simple question. Yes or no?
No, because y'all don't want to answer what I said, bro. Y'all was trying to talk in circles, and then you try to take a shot at me about not knowing the sport of boxing when I've been following boxing my whole life, bro.
Hold up.
He said something to fit his narrative.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing about not knowing boxing.
Your narrative.
You can't tell that man you don't know about boxing when he's actively.
Hashman Indian from the U.S., bro. So how does he know how the business in the U.S. boxing business works, bro? Come on, bro. Yes, I do, bro. You can't even get a good mic, bro, because we can't even hear shit you're saying, bro. Like, let's keep it 100, bro.
I got an iPhone X, so you flop. What phone do you have? What phone are you using? I got an iPhone XR. So what's he trying to say?
Nah, he's talking reckless. El Jefe does this to everyone. Hashman, don't take it personally. He done did it.
Are you still in the woods?
He done did it to Mark.
That's how you lose, man. Everybody. That's how you lose the base.
Oh, but I appreciate for having me on, D. Jefferson. I'm gonna step off, man. Get this smoke, bro. Congratulations, bro. I'm out, bro.
All right, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you like this. The PBC, I'm gonna say this. The PBC, I wouldn't suggest no fucking fighter go over there. I would suggest anybody in the PBC right now that has an inkling of potential to be great to get the fuck away from the PBC. That's what I think about the PBC.
Anyone who wants to have a legacy.
Right.
Get away from them. Stay away from them.
I don't know. I think that you guys' values are completely monopolized by what a sanctioning body tells you.
I don't know who you guys are because it don't have shit to do with me.
All these people who are telling me
me.
unification, like whatever legacy you talk about that says that people shouldn't go to the PBC, whatever the hell value system you're using, sounds like a
You mean
bunch of
fighting bums?
nonsense.
Okay,
For
You
real.
mean fighting bums?
It's like
Is
straight
that what you're
nonsense.
talking about?
Okay,
You're
You got
talking
a
about
bunch of
fighting bums.
champions. You got a bunch of champions and a bunch
You're
of
talking about
millionaires, and you're
fighting
saying
bums. You're talking about
legacy.
fighting.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
you do.
You guys are now.
Oh,
You should
fighting
look at
bums.
yourself and you should
You're
look in the mirror
fighting
and slap
fucking
yourself.
bums, man,
You are
and you cannot
completely lost.
say anything. You can.
All right, guys. One at a time. Both of y'all can go. Just one at a time. Go ahead, Smoke. Or Brian, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. He's doing his thing.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let me just say something quick.
Now, hold
Let me
on.
say something quick.
Guys, let Brian go. Let Brian go, bro.
Okay,
Let Brian go. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
know, okay. This is my thing with the PBC, right? These guys always on Instagram, send me a contract, send me a contract, send me a contract. And then when a contract's sent to them, you don't hear from them again. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to that contract. I was offered $7 million for a fight. That's not worth my time. These are the people who let personal pride get away from the business. And let me explain that for you. They turned down $120 million from AJ because they did not set up the deal. Because Al Heyman did not set up the deal. They turned down $120 million for the AJ Wilder fight because Al Heyman did not set up that deal. So here are the people who let pride get away of their business. And you talk about legacy, you talk about business, you talk about contractual agreement. Every fighter has a promotion, has a contractual agreement with that promotion. Every fighter has obligations. So what makes them different? What makes PBC fighters different?
Okay, so
they want to take minimal. They want to take minimal risk.
Okay, all right.
They want to take the minimal risk to get their opportunity.
Okay, so here's really what it is. Okay, so here's really what it is, and this is what I hear, right? When you guys say PBC, I think there's 160 fighters on PBC. So then when you say they turned down $120 million, I'm thinking you're talking about the fighters, not Team Wilder, right? So maybe it's just that you guys. Right, let me finish. Maybe it's just a bunch of generalizations. But just to address what you're saying to me, even if you take just Wilder and the 120 million, is Tyson Fury less competition? Is that the easier fight?
D, can you hear me?
At the time, it was the easier fight because he came off a 2-year layoff.
He fought him twice.
Yeah,
he fought him twice. He didn't just fight him once.
Yeah.
So both times since he takes the easier.
Well, the first time, let me explain this to you. The first time, yes.
Twice. So not Parson.
No. Let me speak. You asked me a question. I'm going to answer it. You asked me a question and then you don't let me answer.
Right. You said the first time. I heard your answer. Yeah. I got it the first time. So that means the second time, no. So there, since you are
because it was a draw. Because it was a draw where Fury got robbed. That was why they give him the second fight.
Awesome. Actually he did. Hello? Yeah, I don't know. I was backstage for a second. I don't know. Maybe D was talking. I didn't hear him. But anyway, my point to you is
backstage because I was trying to calm y'all down, but y'all just kept talking like I won't say shit. So I had put both.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you, D.
All right. Go ahead, Smoke. Just one at a time. Y'all can go back and forth. Just do it one at a time, fam.
All right, cool. Yeah, like I was saying, you were saying you're charging them with not taking hard fights. Meanwhile, Fury is a hard fight. He drawed with him the first time, so that tells you right there it's a hard fight. To rematch him says he's taking a hard fight. He is stepping up to the plate to take a hard fight. That's just the 120 million. Now, if you want to talk about the business of the 120 million, we can get into that too. But I mean, really, what's the point? Again, do you a 4-fight deal on the zone? Who cares? Like, if the guy says I can make 120 million on my own fighting 4 guys, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I don't understand how not taking a flat fee twice for an undisputed fight equals he doesn't know business, or it needed for Al Heyman to set it up or something like that. Or all it had to do was be a flat fee offer from the zone when they're not knowing the actual numbers that the guys asked for. I mean, it's not rocket science to me. You only need 2 fights to fight AJ, not 4. All you need is 50-50 in a rematch clause, not a bunch of flat fees and all this other extra shit. But whatever. But that's what you guys want to do, because that's what you guys want to do. I'm just saying, as a fighter, if you put yourself in this guy's shoes and think that maybe he has his own best interest at heart and that he is actually fulfilling his own best interest, then whatever. You can have your opinions, but I mean, really, what are we talking about? I mean, when it comes to 120 and Wilder, when it comes to PBC, I mean, it's a platform, right? Feel how you want to feel. I don't know what to tell you. I don't really even understand the words you're using at this point, because it seems like you're talking about like maybe 5 guys and charging the entire organization with what like 5 or 6 guys are doing.
Well, I'll say this. You don't have to understand, Smoke, but most of the rest of us understand exactly. Like, we all get it. And that's a fact, because I keep going back to this, because now you're going with Brian and you with that you shit again. But everybody else in here, we're feeling Brian. And you're with that you shit. You don't understand you don't understand the majority. You're the majority. Because so generally, this is the thing, like, you're not the only logical person on earth, Smoke. Like, I'm logical, Bias is logical.
Definitely.
Like, we also carry logic with us too.
Yeah, and I wouldn't fuck with you if it wasn't the case.
Smoke, I was sitting back letting y'all talk. So
yeah, no, you definitely. I was just agreeing with you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't the case. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm saying is this: like, we look at this sport and analyze this sport with logic as well. It's logic amongst us too. But you always come around a bunch of logical people that know this sport as well, and you tell us that we're illogical. That's what you do. And like, so you're the only logical one around all of us on all of these channels. Well, we know this shit too, Smoke. We're logical as well.
Bro, he literally said they when he's talking about one guy. He literally said they. He said PBC does all this shit, and he's talking about 2 dudes. Like, how am I supposed to defend? Like,
about him. I'm talking.
But that's what I was saying. But that's what I was saying was illogical. No, that's what I was saying.
You.
Because what he's saying is not logical, D.
Okay, Smoke. Stop making it about Brian. Because
I'm just talking about what he said.
Smoke. This is why I be putting you backstage, bro. Because you can't help yourself. What I am saying to you is this scenario, not this isolated incident, not this isolated conversation, not just this one guy. This scenario is common, very common with you, whether it's me and Unbiased, whether we're talking about Wilder, whether we're talking about Charlo. When we're talking about the PBC, this scenario right here is highly common with you. And you often tell logical people that know this sport too that we're illogical.
Right. Because really the issue for me, when it comes down to what most people are saying about the PBC, either doesn't have anything to do with logic, or they don't know what the hell they're talking about when they're charging the PBC with what they're saying. Okay. So when it just like what that guy just did, but because you don't have anything to say about factually what I'm saying, you deflect to this whole thing about my propensity or my propensity to defend the PBC. Whatever. All I'm defending is my own mental stability because of all the bullshit that I hear. Okay, fine. All I'm saying is think what you want. They're shitty business people and they don't know what they're doing and they're all broke and it's all a bunch of bullshit. Cool, you're right. You're totally fine. Let me just move on.
Right. Okay.
And I'm trying to tell you guys what's really up, because apparently you don't want to hear it. You don't actually care. You just want to hear your own self-talk.
That's what we're saying to you.
No, actually, I'm telling you shit, but you just don't want to hear it. Instead of listening to the facts I'm saying to you, you're telling me that I'm just defending the PBC.
Those same sentiments that you just gave to all of us, that we just want to hear ourselves talk, that we just want to believe, that we want to believe that we're illogical and all of that. This is what all of us, this is what you sound like to all of us illogical. So
right.
Okay, right. So what I'm saying is this. If you have 50 fucking logical people, then you have one logical person. How is it that 50 logical people are always the ones illogical?
I'll tell you the issue. Listen, you are the one who is saying that this is the situation. That's not what's happening. What is happening is that logical people.
This is what happens. This is what I'm telling you, Smoke. This is what happens on a daily basis, because what I explain to you, you do this with me, Mark, Unbiased, Johnny, everyone. When it comes to the PBC and Wilder, you get in this same mode with all of us, all of these logical people, but we're all illogical when it comes to this shit, and you're not.
Okay, you are the one who's saying illogical. What that dude just said was not logical. Because now you want to say about all these other people, maybe logic isn't the answer to all of this matrix of problems that you're generalizing. Maybe sometimes you just have incorrect information, and that's what we're talking about, because it's not always about logic. Sometimes you can just have wrong information, so logic doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter whether you're making a logical argument or not, because the facts are wrong.
Well, if you'd let anyone finish a frickin' sentence, maybe I could make something logical.
No, bro.
Because you keep interrupting people.
Brian.
Yeah, because you're missing finish a sentence, right?
Yeah, Brian, you have had much logic. Hashman has had much logic. I have had much logic. And many people that get on this panel and other panels with Smoke, and we're talking about the PBC with all of our logic, it's never logical to him. And then he wonders why we call him a PBC defender. Because he doesn't just do this with Brian Harkin and one isolated thing that Brian says. He doesn't do it just with B. Jefferson and one isolated thing that B. Jefferson said. He doesn't do it with just Unbiased and one isolated thing that Unbiased says. Any fucking time, Black and Brown just charged him for this. Anytime on any platform, we get up here and we start talking about the things we noticed about the PBC, it's all bullshit. Smoke's just hearing all bullshit. But then
because what you're saying is all bullshit, bro. I'm sorry. Like, it's like people are saying that.
Off again. You just cut me off again. That's number one. So I want to make that known to you. You just cut me off again. Okay. So that's number one. But number two, again, it is not just me, because again, when you just cut me off there, you just said, because you. No, you get into this same scenario with many of us. Ring IQ, Unbiased, and you say the same thing. No, because you. Well, why is it all of us don't know what the fuck we're talking about? This is what I'm
exactly. Now you're asking the right question. Now you're asking the right question. Why don't any of you know what to talk about?
Platform of boxing, beats. Bitchin, rhymes, scrap. Nobody knows. Smoke is the only one, because you always come at all of us and say that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about all the time. All of us.
When you don't know what you're talking about, but when you do know what you're talking about, I big up you also. It's not like I don't understand why this is absolute. Like, with people who are logical people can say some illogical thing. People who like boxing and know boxing can be wrong on shit. Like, I don't understand what it is you're trying to say to me, for real. Yes, I get into I get into discussions with everybody about the PBC, about Dillian Whyte, about Andrade, about Monster, about whomever. Just because you want to focus on the PBC doesn't take away from the fact that this is the way I am regardless. We could be talking about the church. If you're going to tell me some bullshit, then this is what you're going to get.
Yeah, ain't nobody telling you bullshit. You not accepting the truth.
What did he say about Monster?
Ain't nobody telling you no bullshit. All of us are not telling you bullshit. Only one not accepting the truth. You
okay? The truth, the truth is, you have your opinions, and they don't coincide with my opinions. And some of the things that your opinions are based on are not factual. That's all.
The real truth is that you have your own opinions, and they pretty much don't anybody
D.
that says anything bad about the people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nobody. I get you. Some of my opinions, I will definitely readily admit that I definitely have my own mind and I make up my own opinion, but I am not the only person who thinks like this.
Well,
because there is a boxing and a history. There is a history and a tradition of boxing that I'm tethering everything that I'm saying to. That's why when you guys are talking about it, I can understand where you guys are coming from, because you're coming from a moment in time where this shit is somewhat important, but I can still point out to you how it ain't really that important. It ain't that boxing hasn't changed that much in the last 100 years. It's still entertainment. It's still prize fighting, no matter how much you try to talk about legacy and all this other shit that it ain't.
Well, here's
let me say something quick. One thing D said that was a fact was, one thing you said that was false was, you said majority of boxing fans don't want to see the big fights. Is that what you said? Unification fights.
Yep.
And they just want to see knockouts. They just want to see knockouts, right? Is that what you said?
Something to that effect. I don't remember the exact words.
Yeah,
So can you tell me how that's a fact? Because when hardcore fans want to see the best fight, the best unification fights, and also the casuals want to see the big fights, they don't really care about the other fights. So explain to me, Smoke.
I didn't say that. I said casuals want to see knockouts. I just didn't say that. I said casuals want to see knockouts. I didn't say casuals don't want to see the big fights. I said that you have a problem with characterizing big fights as only things that sanctioning bodies tell you are big fights. That's what your issue is.
Hey, can I say something?
No, you charge all of us with that. Earlier, and I was like,
okay, whoever's talking about unifications between paper champions, like that's supposed to mean something to a guy who's like, whatever, dude. Like, fine. Think what do you want to think. All I'm saying to you is, as these boxers have their own self-interest. But fans have their self-interest. We can keep screaming about it all we want, but you're going to see boxers actually go on their own self-interest, not about the feelings of fickle fans.
Hey guys, look, check this out. So Smoke says we only care about these unifications and trinkets and shit, whatever. Okay. Hold on, Hashman. Let me get this point out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, guys, please correct me. But the analysts and the guys who decide who goes down as one of the ATGs, the greatest of all time, who goes in the Hall of Fame, all of these things that Smoke is saying, because you guys just pay attention to this. Isn't this what they utilize to determine whether these guys are going to be considered ATG or in the Hall of Fame? How many belts they won, who they beat, the
No. The answer to your question is no.
Backstage, you're going right the fuck backstage, dog, because you ain't cutting me off.
No. He's playing now. He's playing games now.
Yeah, no. He's not playing anything. He's backstage listening because I'm going to finish this without his interruptions. So, all right, I got you, France. I'll check it.
You can't go in the Hall of Fame without winning.
Hold on, Hashman. Let me get this off, bro. So, what I'm saying is this: these guys that are responsible for saying this guy goes to the Hall of Fame, this is one of the all-time greats, whatever channels or columnists or Ring Magazine or whatever, these factors that Smoke says, you guys just pay attention to all of this. These fucking things matter when we consider legacy at the end of the day. These are the things that's going to matter. But to Smoke, they're meaningless.
Okay, that he's trying to say. He's trying to.
Yeah, you can go right after Hashman finish. Go ahead, Hashman.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Listen, he's disrespecting unification and all these belts, all the sanction fees and all this crap. Everyone gets into boxing to become a world champion. Everyone's dream is to become a world champion. Everyone's dream is to be a unified. Not everyone, but as a boxer, your dream is to be a unified champion, undisputed, win all the belts, move. That's everyone's goal in get legacy. Smoke, you're disrespecting the fact that unification is just sanctioning fees with this and this and this. It's more than that. It's prestigious.
Okay, here's what I'm telling. Here's what I'll say to you. You can get into the Hall of Fame. You can get it. Okay, sorry, as a boxer, go ahead.
As a boxer, that's disrespectful because my goal is to become a world champion and be a unified champion, and you're just degrading the fact that unifications are just sanctioning fees that don't really mean anything. Just paper champions fight for belts and shit. That's what you're trying to say.
No, I'm not trying. You're just putting words in my mouth. But really, I'll tell you this. I'll sum it up for you quite nicely in one easy to understand sentence. You don't need to be a unified champion to get into the Hall of Fame.
All right.
It helps.
So nobody said that. Who the fuck said that? Hold on. Cause see, this the type of shit that Smoke does. Who said that? Because that whole spiel that I just gave, did anybody hear me say that you have to have unifications to make it to the Hall of Fame? Did anybody hear me say that? Because I didn't hear anybody say that. Smoke,
Okay,
you're gonna go backstage anytime you cut me off. I swear to God, you're going backstage. So don't do it. Now,
I just said it was
did anybody else, not Smoke, in the panel, hear me say that you have to have unifications to make it to the Hall of Fame or be considered ATG? No, what I said was these are the things that they take into account when they determine who's going to go there. I didn't say that this is the only thing that matters. I didn't say that you have to have that. I said these are the things that will be taken into account. That's what I said.
Okay, like I said, while you're talking about things that are taken into account, there are guys in the Hall of Fame who never unified. So while you're talking about all of this Hall of Fame stuff, why don't you add that to the criteria that you actually don't need to have a unit? Let me finish. You said
guys' names. Give me 2 guys' names because I'm getting ready to demolish you with this. Give me 2 guys' names, any 2 guys you want that's in the Hall of Fame that didn't have the unifications. Give me 2 guys' names. And what I'm going to do with those 2 guys, since we're talking about the fucking Charlos, the Deontay Wilders, you give me 2 of these guys you're talking about, and then I'm going to compare what they did to make it into the Hall of Fame to these worthless motherfuckers we're talking about now.
Okay, so the first question is, why does it have to be 2? It's not that I can't give you 2. I'm just want to know, why does it have to be 2?
Because, you know, it doesn't have to be 2. Really, it could have been 1. But here's my thing. Before we even go through all of this bullshit, here's the thing. Motherfuckers like Charlo, compared to the guys that are in the Hall of Fame that didn't unify, can guarantee you ain't get a chance there. Not a fucking 10th. I can guarantee you the level of competition he fought is nowhere close to the level of competition that the guys fought to get there. I can guarantee you that. This is why I said, give me one of those guys' names, because whoever you give me in the Hall of Fame, we can put their shit next to Charlo's and it will absolutely obliterate it.
Okay, so where in this conversation did anybody say Charlo's a Hall of Famer?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is this. This is what I'm telling you.
He's comparing.
Come here and tell me and Hashman and all of these guys, well, there's guys in the Hall of Fame that didn't unify. Well, we're talking about guys like Charlo that didn't unify. So we can't keep throwing up these little phrases. Don't do it, Smoke, because I'll take you backstage. Don't do it. So when we're sitting up here,
he's changing the subject.
Guys.
He changes the subject, D.
Yeah, and then you.
I'm not changing the subject, but can I talk or just him?
You are.
Okay, you said PBC. First off, you guys said okay. First, you said PBC. You said PBC. You said PBC, and then we went from PBC to just Charlo. There's more than just Charlo at the PBC. So you guys are charging. That's my point. My point to you is that you keep charging the PBC with all of this stuff, and then you've narrowed the focus to one guy. There's more than one guy in the PBC.
Smoke. No one focuses on one guy, bro.
D, can I speak? Do you know why?
Hold on, because this is why Smoke, he always does this. I just said this.
Change the subject.
Smoke, it's not about changing the subject. Chill, bro, because this is a stupid fucking argument.
Yeah, this is really.
Yeah, Smoke, chill for a second.
I'm chill. I'm chilly most. I'm very chill.
Then you'll really be chilling. Thank you. Because then we won't hear you. Okay, it's really this simple, Smoke. You are the only one here that does this isolate. I just broke down 3 times. Stop going to the isolated incident. If I mention Charlo as an example, I'm not only talking about Charlo. And I literally myself have talked about multiple guys in the PBC. But as soon as you come back with one of your counters, you focus on a single isolated situation. I just said that. Ain't nobody making this all about Charlo or all about Wilder or all about Tank or all about Spence. Nobody's making it about one guy. You will come back with an argument and you focus on that one guy. We have not.
That's what he does.
I definitely have not done that. So I'm not just going back to Charlo. I'm going back to the exact thing I said at the beginning of all of this bullshit. The entire organization, these guys move in a similar way. You can isolate them and make it Charlo. Didn't Charlo say he was his own boss? Didn't Spence say he was his own boss? A lot of these motherfuckers say that shit. So I'm not making it about no one isolated guy. It's the whole movement. When you come back with these silly arguments, you point out one guy and you stick to that, and then you try to say that we're making it about one guy. That's bullshit. No, I'm not.
Okay, so again, you just first you said that the PBC is not doing anything, right? And then you said this is what when it comes to legacy, there's all of these factors, all of these data points that people are looking at when it comes to legacy and getting into the Hall of Fame. And then when I said and the unifications came up, and that's what PBC apparently isn't doing, even though they've had unifications. But that's a different subject. Let me just keep going for a second. The issue that I'm having is I feel like you guys are, when you're talking about the PBC in general, what you really are talking about is 3 or 4 guys. And then you keep saying that you're not, but as soon as you make an example or a statement, who you're talking about is the same 3 or 4 guys, right? Spence, the Charlos, Tank, and Wilder. That's who you're talking about when you're talking about the PBC, the entire thing. And not only are you talking, that's who you're talking about. You're talking about guys who are unified champs, who are Hall of Famers, who are all of this stuff, and not only that, pay-per-view draws, making a bunch of money. They're getting millions of views for their fights. They're making tens of millions of dollars, and you guys are talking about how they're not doing shit because they're not fighting 1 or 2 guys that you want to see right now. I get it. That's fine that that's what you're doing, but I'm just pointing out that's what you're doing.
Can you answer the question you asked before? Why do you have to change the whole thing? What he does is when there's a situation going on, then he will mention something else. Then we speak about what he just said. Can you just go back to what you said before? He's talked about Hall of Famers, name Hall of Famers that are not unified. Can you just name 2 or 3? That's exactly what he said. Then you mentioned something else. You did that.
I didn't say that. D did.
You did that. You talked about
D asked for 2 or 3 names. I just said you don't have to unify to get in the Hall of Fame because D said that was one of the criteria. It's literally is not one of the criteria. You can look at that stuff, but you don't need to have that in the Hall of Fame. You can have a fine legacy without ever unifying. This is a standard that you guys are putting on the thing that the Hall of Fame has never. Name the guy who got into the Hall of Fame because he unified.
Listen.
Nobody said that.
Great. So then why the hell are we talking about unification like this is this big legacy play?
Let me speak that because
unification fucking matters.
Let me speak.
They do matter. You can't say they don't matter.
Unification matters. Yeah, cool.
Thank you. They do
speak because you spoke before. You spoke.
Awesome.
Can I
said they didn't end all be all, but they matter.
Awesome. You know what? PBC unified, and PBC has unification. So what are we talking about? They unified. So what's the next charge?
That's what Hashman talks about when he says that you change the subject. Now, I brought up unification, not because people in the PBC has made unifications. We started talking, this is how you change subject. This is what Hashman is talking about. The unification was brought into the conversation, and it was solely because of accomplishments. Now you're talking about, who on the PBC side? That's how you keep changing the subject, bro. That's what he's talking about. Your defense on what I was saying didn't have nothing to do with nobody over on the PBC unifying. That didn't have shit to do with it, but now you get ready to put that argument into the table. Like we're saying nobody on the PBC is unifying. That's changing the argument.
You literally said they're not doing anything. You literally said they're not doing anything. You said this legacy plays, and then you pointed out what those were.
Hey, I want to ask everybody a question. I want everybody who has emojis, everyone who has emojis in the chat, anybody who has emojis, I need a thumb up or a thumb down to this so that it's just not me, you. Who in here thinks that smoke is a PBC protector? Thumbs up if you do.
Okay. And what point are you trying to make, man? Like, I don't understand what point
you ain't doing that here. This is the point I'm trying to make. So you can hear instead of talking. You always charge me or whoever you argue with at the time as if we're coming at you and we're making this about you. But you run around playing the fucking PBC protector. And then when we charge you at that, You say, no, you're not a PBC protector. It's just because we are saying a bunch of bullshit. That's what you always do. No, I'm not a PBC protector. Y'all just saying a bunch of bullshit. So I want to see, like, of all the people that listens to us, if they view you the same as we do, as a PBC protector, or if we're just saying a bunch of bullshit. Now, Smoke, a bunch of thumbs down in the chat would validate what you're saying. We're just saying a bunch of bullshit. But a bunch of thumbs up in the chat won't validate what you're saying. So I'm gonna get you back on, Smoke. Just take
I'm
a
gonna head out. Good
into
speaking to you guys.
the chat.
Good speaking to you guys. I'm gonna head out.
All right, thanks, Hacker. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
As well. Peace to Smoke.
All right, I appreciate you, bro. He said peace to Smoke, peace to Brian, peace to Ashman. So again, Smoke, that was my whole point with that. Because if I'm being charged with mischaracterizing you and I'm charging at you and doing all of this to you, what I'm trying to tell you is that this is the view that you are putting out about yourself. I'm not making this up about you. I'm not trying to make you out to be this guy. That was the whole reason I said put the thumbs up, because this is how these people view you because of the things you say, not because of what I'm making you out to be. But you charge me with that all the time. You're making me out. No, I'm not. You making yourself look like a fucking PBC protector. You're doing this. Talk to yourself.
I may see the cookie glue, the GDP, and I'm gonna get it. Yeah. And sorry, the OG.
But see, that's just a fact. That's why I was like, that's why I wanted to see the thumbs up, and I hope you know, Smoke, you got 100% thumbs up. So it ain't nothing that I'm putting on you. This is what you do, bro. You're not willing to accept any heat. When we come up here, we start throwing heat toward the PBC. We get into these 2 and 3 hours discussion because you don't want to accept what we have to
cookie glue.
I mean, that's just the facts of it, bro. Yeah, I just muted it. Unbiased. That's the thing. Like, if you could just accept some of this stuff instead of acting like everything we saying is bullshit, because that's what you just said. You said, no, when I listen to y'all talk, all I hear is a bunch of bullshit. Well, why is it that you're the only one hearing all of the bullshit, but nobody else does? Like, that's what the thumbs up was about, Smoke, because we're not saying a bunch of bullshit. And you're not the only logical person that knows everything. And what I'm telling you is, you always sit up here with Hashman and me and Brian, but you. No, Smoke, it's you. Because all of the truth that we're giving you, you see as bullshit. But it's actually truth. This is why we go through this shit all the time, bro. I mean, Brian up here trying to tell you. Hashman trying to tell you. I'm biased trying to tell you 100 times. I'm always trying to tell you. But we don't know shit. All we doing is telling lies and giving false facts and shit. Yeah, and I said this 100 times. I don't think anybody in the chat will disagree with me. I cannot remember alive that we came up here and said some stuff about the PBC and you agree. It was always an argument, bro. And it's no fucking possible way that everything we're saying about the PBC is bullshit. But every time you're arguing with us and you say the reason is because all you hear is bullshit. I don't know. I don't get it. So, but no, Guido, that's another thing Smoke don't accept. He don't accept getting body bagged. I done bodied this motherfucker 100 times. You ask Smoke, I ain't never bodied him. Never. I'm biased got him sometimes. You ask Smoke, he ain't never been bodied. We ain't never got him. That's something else he don't accept. He can be bodied in the grave, you know what I'm saying, with a fucking truck sitting on top of that bitch, but he ain't been body bagged. Smoke, I tell you one thing, dog. You are the best. I will give you this. Smoke, get this Smoke, and I don't think anybody will disagree with this. Get this Smoke in the YTBC is the Johnny Cochran of PBC defense. Ain't nobody better, bro. I don't think there's nobody in the PBC better than Smoke. I mean, the YPBC better than Smoke when it comes to defending the PBC. I say he's the best.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Because the thing is this. The reason I say that is not because I argue with Smoke all the time, but he does bring validity to these arguments. Like we get a lot of these guys in the PBC and they argue and debate on us with the PBC, and it's just all trash, bro. It's 100% bullshit. They don't really come with no validity. They don't come with no points to back up what they're saying. But when it comes to get this Smoke, in my opinion, it is nobody on this platform in the YTBC that you will have a tougher debate with about the PBC than get this Smoke. I'll give you that props, bro. And I'm not even being fucking sarcastic or nothing. Like, I'm giving you real respect on that. You the best PBC defender in this motherfucker, dog.
Well, listen, I appreciate people's perspective and their opinions, right? Of me and of boxing, right? We're all in it together. We're all fans at the end of the day. It's not like I'm saying I'm not a fan or something like that. Really, when you say stuff like PBC doesn't develop fighters very well, yeah, I can get behind that. I understand that. When you have a criticism of the PBC that I agree with, you'll hear me agreeing with you. But for some reason, you guys don't hear me agree with you ever. All you hear about me is saying that you don't know what the hell you're talking about when it comes to the business of television production, or have very much compassion when it comes to what a fighter has going on with his career, separate and apart from what fans want to see. That's it.
Yeah. Wow.
I do have sympathy for fighters. This is where I think you get us wrong. We do have sympathy.
I said separate from what fans want to see.
Yeah,
I didn't say empathy. I qualified my statement.
I said sympathy.
when it comes to, I said empathy. I said empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy for what the fans when the fans' self-interest diverge from a fighter's self-interest. What you'll hear from fans is, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care. I'm just a fan.
To me, that sounded like sympathy. Okay, I thought you said sympathy. Okay,
yeah.
So empathy. Okay, well, I do have empathy for fighters. I do have empathy for what they have to go through the contract, right? But if I'm paying for a pay-per-view, my hard-earned money, I'm not paying for a bullshit fight.
Right.
And that's what these fighters and promoters have to realize. I'm not gonna pay watch Charlo fight a bum.
Right.
When has Charlo been pay-per-view? Charlo never been pay-per-view a day in his life. He fights on free TV. He fights on free TV.
All right, Smoke. He hasn't been pay-per-view. Let's not make this argument about pay-per-view. He has not been.
No. But I'm just saying. I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay for anyone fighting a bum.
I want to say this too, bro. When we watch, I don't give a fuck if it's on free TV. Time is money, bro. Time is precious. Everybody's time. So when we give you our time, even if it's on free TV, we're making you money because the networks pay for views. So it's because of the fans that you're making these millions. So don't fucking sit here and tell me that I have to have but so much empathy for this boxer when I'm the fucking reason he's making the money. Get your ass in there and fight and do what I want you to do because I'm the reason you're making the money. Don't give me that shit about having empathy with them because without us, they don't make that money.
They should have empathy for us.
Exactly. Fucking sit there. But see, it's just PBC. We got to have empathy for the fucking Charlos and the Wilders. And because these are the guys turning down the big money. And these are the guys we have to open our hearts up and have empathy to.
Yeah.
You don't see we don't see Crawford turning down the money. We don't see AJ turning down the money. We don't see Monster Nui turning down the money. We don't see Canelo and them turning down the money or to turn down the money. They took less pay to get there. We seen Floyd Mayweather take less pay to get there. We seen a lot of the people that we call greats take less pay to get there. But with these new age PBC fighters, we supposed to empathize with them. Fuck that. They need to take less pay and to get there too, like Floyd did. Don't be sitting up there and you ain't did a tenth of what Floyd did, but you crying you supposed to get this money and you over here selling the business, not fighting good fights because you want this money, but you ain't put in the work. At least Floyd put in the work to get the money. We supposed to empathize with Charlo and he ain't did a fucking thing. Get out of here with that, man. Earn that shit. Prove yourself. Don't tell me.
Okay, I didn't say you were supposed to. I
finished. Go backstage. Don't tell me to empathize with somebody who's fighting fucking Dennis Hogan's and cornballs and not unifying, and I'm the fan that's making them the money, and they're not supposed to unify for me because without me, without Zaros, without France, without us watching them, what are they unifying? They ain't making no goddamn money. So don't tell me that we supposed to empathize with their business. It's because of us they're making the money. The fans make them the money. So do what the fucking fans want.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
But what I'm trying to say, what I tried to say, D.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I tried to say was if he fights an Andre, if he fights a Canelo, he will be pay-per-view. And sometimes I say something and it comes out wrong and I don't get to finish what I want to say. You know, and I think I've been interrupted a lot on the stream when I'm trying to make a point. So sometimes my points don't come out the way I want them to because I feel like as soon as I say something and I don't get the chance to back that up, I get, and this is not, but, I feel like I've been interrupted a lot in the stream. So every time I say something and I don't back up my point. So sometimes it comes off wrong, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. So, but what was I saying before that?
Lawrence, that's a good point. Lawrence, you finished, Brian? I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no, no. Yeah, but I'm saying like, if he fights
I'd like to respond when you're done with whatever point you're making.
Yeah, it's just a quick comment. Lawrence said Jaime Munguia fought Hogan and nobody was capping for him to unify. That's because Jaime Munguia was a prospect. And Charlo ain't no goddamn prospect.
He's 30 years old.
Yeah, he's 30 years old. 23, he was a young kid, so ain't nobody pushing for him. They already knew he needed a lot of work. Even though Jaime Munguia had got up there, we knew he was defensively irresponsible. We knew he was only 20 years old. But Charlo ain't no goddamn 20 years old. This dude 30.
Yeah.
Right. So I just like to respond. So you're saying your time and your energy, just to put it into perspective, I didn't watch the Dennis Hogan fight the night it was broadcast. It took COVID for me to have the time to watch Dennis Hogan fight. I do use my time and I do spend my time and effort on the fights that I want to watch. And it's not always a Charlo fight. I just don't give him a whole bunch of grief about it. My life is just fine regardless of who the hell Charlo fights. So when he fights somebody that I want to see, I'll tune in. When he doesn't, I won't. I would watch somebody else because there's plenty of boxing. And not only that, is there plenty of boxing in general, there's plenty of other guys in the PBC. Just because Charlo's not unified, let me finish. Let me just finish my thing. Because this whole thing is about the PBC, not just Charlo, right? Because in the PBC, I get unifications. I get good fights. So I'm not really upset that Charlo himself is not doing it because first off, I don't even give a damn whether that the PBC is doing it or not. As long as I get good boxing, I'm fine. When I'm looking at good fights, I notice, hey, you know what? That's a PBC fight. Cool. Like it. When it's a top ranked fight, I go, yeah, that's a good fight. It's a top ranked fight or World Boxing Super Series or whatever the fuck. But for some reason, these kinds of tournaments don't quite catch the same kind of vitriol and negative, I guess, negative attention on them the way that the PBC does. Some of the negativity that is directed at the PBC, I think, is warranted, and some of it I think is not warranted, and a lot of it, when it comes to the business, sounds straight cuckoo to me. But whatever. It doesn't mean that people's opinions aren't valid. I'm just saying that sometimes the opinions are not tethered to facts.
Yeah, okay. So since you said all of that, you are one fan. You do not fund the sport of boxing. So that's great that you decide not to watch it but again, you're a hardcore boxing fan also. For the casual fans, for most of the fans out there, that ideal that you just laid down, it don't work like that, bro. It don't.
I don't know why you think that. 76% of boxing in the USA is consumed by PBC.
And listen, you would know why I'm saying.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. So here's the thing, bro. It's just this simple. The majority of the fans do not first and foremost think like most of us. That's number one. The majority of the fans on the things you saying you won't do, guess what, Smoke? They do that. And that's a fact, bro. Because they're casual, because they don't understand this, because they want what they want. And this is the majority of the fans. The majority of the fans is what's fun in this sport, not people like Smoke. So you can say, yeah, if I don't want this, then I just don't do that. But that's not what's making this sport money, because you're not a casual. And that's not how the casuals approach this sport. So the sport is going to make money how the majority approaches the sport, Smoke. And we speak on what the majority wants, because the majority is paying these salaries. And the majority is not paying Charlo to go to the PBC and handle and fight some insignificant fucking fights that we don't want to see. The majority is paying Charlo so that he can go fight Andre, nigga.
Okay, but you're saying he's not fighting Andre, and there's 2.4 million people watching him fight, not Andre.
No,
but you know who? Let me just.
I'm not gonna let you finish, because that's not what the fuck I'm saying. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I was saying is Andre denied the people of what we wanted by turning down 7 million. That's all I'm saying. Don't tell me.
No, my point is, you're saying that that casual fans aren't tuning in to do this. But meanwhile, the casual fans are tuning in, because what casual fans are tuning into, what they've been tuning into the entire time, was to see somebody get fucked up. That's what they've been tuning into the entire time. They have not been tuning in for unifications. That's not what's been happening in boxing. And it's still not what's happening in boxing. Really, what's happening in boxing is, I want to see somebody get knocked the fuck out. That's why all of these guys are styling themselves as knockout artists, to appeal to the casual fan. And the only way they can actually fulfill those whole things, the only way they can knock out these guys at this point is to do not the best level of competition, because you don't get knockouts then. That's why Canelo is not knocking out Triple G, and Triple G is not knocking out Canelo. Triple G is not knocking out Steve Rolls. Devonchenko. He's not knocking out Jacobs. He's knocking out Steve Rolls. But that is the business. You can slice it however you want, and you can say, yeah, we're purists and we want this and we want that. But for real, like you said, it's about casual fans. And for real, casual fans don't give a damn about unifications. They don't even know what it is. They just want to see somebody get fucked up.
Okay.
Can I say something? Can I say something very quick?
You can, Brian. Let me say this right quick.
Okay.
That is 110% bullshit, Smoke. And as soon as Brian finishes, I'm going to tell you why I know that's bullshit, that casual fans don't want unifications. I'm going to tell you why I know that's bullshit. But go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay. If everybody wants to see knockouts, why wasn't Deontay Wilder's first pay-per-view fight against Tyson Fury in his 39th fight or 40th fight? How did if everybody wants to see knockouts and he was a pay-per-view fighter, why didn't he not get his first pay-per-view to his 40th fight? If everyone wants to see knockouts, everybody will pay to see knockouts. Why? Why did he not get a pay-per-view before?
I don't know, but I think that, well, because it's bullshit. That's my answer to it. But I want to say this in retort to everybody. Smoke, now you are on a lot of lives with me. A lot of lives. I see you going all around. But one thing that you're not doing is you're not a content creator, okay? But you've been on YouTube for a long time. So there's no possible way that you're telling me casual fans don't want to see unifications or know what they are. And the reason I know that that's not true is because of my fans, bro. It's a lot of fans that they admit that they're casual and they want champions to fight champions and unify those belts. So what you just said was 100% untrue because of my experience with the people that I talk to, because I am a content creator. That's bullshit what you said. 100%. They do want unifications. They do want champions to fight champions because to them, the casuals, that says to them, oh, that's the best guy. They don't know about like the Devry and Chinkos like you broke down before. Like this guy might actually be better than that champion. No, what they see is, oh, he's the best guy. He's the best guy. I want to see those two fight to see who's the best guy. Don't fucking sit here and tell me that the casual fans don't want that. They tell me they want that all the time. You're fucking lying. Or may not be lying, but you're dead ass wrong about that.
If this conversation is now we're really arguing on whether or not casual fans want to see knockouts, then I don't even know what.
No.
Like it's all good.
Because I did not say they don't want to see knockouts. I debunked this shit about them not wanting to see or have unifications. I never said they didn't want to see knockouts. That's the dumb shit you do. And now you want to get here and sit and argue about whether fans want to see knockouts or not. I never argued that. I don't disagree with that. The only thing I said is that they do want unifications. You say they don't want unification. They don't fucking know what they are. That's a bullshit lie. That is, or it's just 100% incorrect. So either it's a bullshit lie or it's 100% incorrect. Because of my experience and the casual fans, the many casual fans that I'm talking to, Smoke, that's not what I'm getting. They do want unifications. You're wrong on that. 100% wrong on that.
Okay, so let's go through the last. How many pay-per-views do you want to go through before you get to a unification?
I don't want to go through any pay-per-view.
I know. Okay, great. But we're talking about casual fans.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
What I'm talking about is the fans that I'm experiencing, Smoke. No, none of your pay-per-view numbers or none of that. I'm talking about the people I'm talking to on a daily basis. Not your hypothesis.
Okay, bro.
And all of this. I'm talking about real life people that I'm talking to. Not your numbers or whatever you think you get ready to prove something on. I'm talking real people, Smoke.
So do you talk to so you talk to 800,000 people? No, because that's how many people bought the pay-per-view.
No. I talk to a lot of people on a lot of different channels, and what I'm saying is when I'm looking in the chat, when I'm talking to when I'm talking on different channels, when I talk around my city, when I tell people about boxing, what you're saying, I don't get any evidence of that out here. That bullshit you're saying about the casual fans not wanting unifications or only wanting to see knockouts, that's bullshit. They want champions to fight champions and unify. I know this for sure. You're wrong about that.
Oh, you're saying I'm wrong about it, but let's look at the numbers to see if I'm wrong about that. Because there's been, I'll tell you. I'll tell you which numbers. You can look at the numbers for unifications. Let's see if they're any significantly different than a fight that does not have unifications, right? Because that's the point. That's the point that you're trying to.
That does not prove that casual fans don't want unification, Smoke. That does not prove that.
Okay, how about
Yeah, that don't prove that. That doesn't offer us any proof that casual fans don't want unifications and only knockouts. So that's why I said, what numbers are you get ready to bring up? I'm not going through all of that bullshit for you to come up with no proof that casual fans don't want that. That's all bullshit, Smoke. And you're sitting up here trying to convince us that casual fans don't want to see two champions unify. Get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit, bro. That don't even make sense. Of course, casual fans want to see the best guys fight the best guys. If they think, what do you think these shiny trinkets are for, Smoke? They have these shiny trinkets so that the fans can think, hey, that's the best guy. He has the belt. And now you telling me these fans don't want to see him fight? Are you fucking insane?
Okay, if I'm insane, then please explain to me. Okay, if I'm insane, please tell me why. What do you think the viewership was for Herd J-Rock unification?
I don't know. I have no clue. But I will say this. Hold on. I don't know. And see, it's easy for me to say I don't have no clue about that. I will say that. But I will tell you this also. If the two champions are not well known, then that could equate to why the numbers are low. But that still don't mean fucking casual fans don't want to see two guys with the shiny belts fight. So that's why I'm saying your numbers are not going to work on this, bro. It's not.
Okay. Okay. Like the entire thing, like what you're saying is unifications matter. I mean, what you're saying is unifications matter when they matter. Do they never matter? Do they never matter? Okay, you just said. Okay.
I'm not gonna go in no circle smoke with you when you sit up here and tell me what I'm saying, and that's not what I'm saying. If you don't get what I'm saying, you're not gonna come up here and say, "Oh, so what you're saying this," and go on some fucking tantrum, bro, or some tangent. You're not gonna do that. If you don't get what I'm saying, then it ain't no point in us having this this discussion. But you're not gonna tell me what I'm saying and then be all wrong about it. You're not
okay. You just said unifications doesn't matter. They're not as popular when the champions aren't popular. Okay, so when the champions
do this, ask me to expound. If you don't understand,
I don't need.
Ask me to expound. Don't tell me what I'm saying because that ain't gonna work. So ask me to expound if you don't get it.
But who says I don't get it? You are saying I don't get it, but really I'm saying what you just said. You're just saying you didn't say it, but you literally just said if the two champions aren't popular, then that will affect the popularity of the fight. That's what it is.
No, hold on. Now listen, because you like to be literal and play these fucking games. So listen. Yes, I did mention the two champions. Yes, I did say that if they're not popular, the numbers in the fight, but I said it would be a factor. I didn't say it was the end all be all. So whatever your retort is going to be, whatever your retort is going to be, don't sit up here and try to make it like I'm saying that's the only. I said it was a factor. So go ahead with your retort, Smoke.
Okay, I did. I mean, this is really just going off into. We're just going around in circles. You're just going to keep interrupting me to tell me what I just said. Like for real. I would like to see outside of your anecdotal evidence of the people that you talk to on YouTube, I would like to see some empirical evidence that everybody can understand that.
Did you mute him?
No, I didn't mute him. His phone must have went out or something. But by the time he come back, so whatever. I want to tell y'all this. See, Smoke is easy to debunk. This is why I always get his dumb ass. So he was about to ask me, he doesn't want my anecdotal evidence and all of this shit. I can flip that the same way and tell him to prove to me that fans don't want fucking unifications and only knockout.
Okay, we are just yes. Okay, but I can't. But how much you want to bet I can?
Okay, prove it. Prove it that fans only want knockouts. Casual fans only want knockouts and not unifications. Prove that to me, please. And if you don't. Right now, this conversation's over with. We go. Okay. I'm not going around for 5 hours. Prove that to me right now.
Okie dokie. I'll do that right now. Gennady Golovkin. Did the rise of Gennady Golovkin, was it because he was a unified champion or was it because he was knocking people out? Canelo Alvarez. Was it because he was a unified champion or was it because he was knocking people out? Manny Pacquiao. Was it because he was a unified champion or because he was knocking people out? Floyd Mayweather, people were tuning in to see him get knocked out, and he just kept defying the odds, not getting knocked out. Oscar De La Hoya, you pick a guy who is popular that the casual fans wanted to see him just fight a unification and not knock people out. Like what they're tuning in for is the knockout. The unification may be maybe a extra stakes for hardcore boxing fans, but the casual fans are not tuning in for trinkets. The casual fans are tuning in to see somebody get fucked up. And it doesn't even matter if the guy has a belt because you see casual fans watching the sport when there's no championship, there's no belt on the line, watching people get fucked up.
All right, you finished?
Yeah.
Are you finished? Because I don't want to cut you off. Are you finished?
Yep, I'm finished.
And that was your so-called proof, right?
No, I'm okay. So no.
Was that
no. Okay, sorry. To bring it back to your point, Like I was, and maybe I got cut off what I was explaining because whatever. I'm having technical issues right now. But let me finish. But my what I was asking for was empirical data outside of your people that you spoke to that unifications have any sort of a casual fan interest.
Okay.
Can I answer this?
No. Well, all right. Go ahead. You can.
Okay. Who's the greatest fighter of all time?
Who's the greatest fighter of all time? Depends on who you. Maybe Sang Langford. There wasn't unifications around for my greatest fighter of all time. You got to make your point. Just make your point.
Okay, who's known as the greatest fighter of all time by the casual boxing fans?
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Yep. Who would most professional boxing fans or most boxing fans say is the greatest of all time?
Sam Langford.
Langford or Leonard?
Sam Langford.
Yeah.
Hagler or Leonard.
Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson.
It was Leonard. Hagler only fought at one weight.
Yeah, Robinson.
Yep.
Robinson. Yeah. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Great boxers. Not necessary knockout artists. They were known more for their boxing ability than they were for knockouts. And if you asked a lot of people who follow boxing and a lot of casual fans, if you ask them who are the greatest fighters of all time, those are the names that will come at you. They weren't all necessary knockout artists.
Bro, the greatest. Okay.
No, sir. It's my turn.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, my turn. Will you finish, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay. And this conversation is definitely over because that's valid what Brian just said, and I'm gonna ice it over. I'm gonna put the icing on the motherfucking cake for you, Smoke. Don't fucking sit here and tell me that the casual fans don't care about or whatever you said about unifications. When these promoters will use those shiny trinkets to get the casual fans to watch the fucking fights, bro. We have this champion and we have this champion over here. This is how they air the shit on TV. And it's because of the fucking belts. And these two champions are going to come together and get it on. For fucking years, they've been advertising fights like that. And what are they advertising those fights? Champion against champion to see unified who's the best champion. Don't fucking tell me casual fans don't want to see unifications or speak against that at any level. This conversation is over. And on that note, y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it.